I saw that Facebook post about Justice and his grandma.
What?
He was playing Street Fighter. He was Ryu fighting Cammy. Is that man fighting a woman? Yes. That's stupid.
All arguments are invalid at that point.
And before
Who said that?
Grandma.
our friend's grandma.
Oh god.
Then before that was like, what are Hadoukens? Then he tried to explain like their energy blast, blah blah blah. And she said the exact same thing. That's stupid.
She's a realist. She's a realist.
Just get her on the channel, Grandma Reviews. Then play Mortal Kombat or something in front of her, see what happens.
Did he rip her head off? That's stupid.
Hey everybody, this is TMG Podcast. This is episode 57. We are, I'm supposed to say live, but no, we're in front of each other. We're not in
really
Skype.
live.
There's no lag.
No Skype.
But there's real life lag.
Yes, there's just no lag at all. I'm
Well,
so
there's lag
happy.
right now on the PlayStation Network.
Yeah, we've been staring at the screen for the
46
past-
MB.
I've been trying to update the PS Store
The past
for
2 hours.
For the past 2 hours, it keeps messing up.
Yeah, we're talking about only 48 MB of
We're
patch.
just gonna check if Will has $5. That's it.
Exactly. You just want to know how much money I have.
This is a podcast about everything video games. This is Carlos, and with me is Will
Hello.
and Miggy. And we are gonna. Well, what happened this week, or actually that last week? Blizzcon happened, so we're gonna be talking about that. Apparently, there's a lot that was announced.
Call of Spacey was released.
Yeah, Call of Spacey happened last
Hold
week.
E to pay respects.
Hold push X to pay respects. Have you seen that?
Cross the street.
Oh Lord. But yeah, BlizzCon's happening, and then next week we got something big happening.
Yep, BlizzCon happened last week. ESGS is happening in front of us. I mean, we're gonna have a full coverage of that. It's gonna be pretty busy. It's gonna be a pretty busy week
Pretty
for me.
hectic.
I don't know, with work plus
Plus
extra
preparing,
work plus extra work,
Plus
which
video
is
games.
video games. It's gonna be pretty interesting though. ESGS. It's a local event. It's happening November 15th, November
Esports
16th.
Gaming Summit.
I'm pretty excited.
2014.
Dreadout's there, so we have some international developers showing up there. I'm pretty excited for
Yeah,
that.
we got lots of locals. We got
What are you doing? We
I
also
forgot to focus on this.
might have like an Oculus game on the ESGS.
The horror movie about the haunted mirror
I don't know,
or the Oculus Rift.
but I sure want to put that in my
I'm
face. Though.
running out of battery for this one.
What our little
the camera.
our camera? The camera will. Yes, dead. How long will that last though? By the way?
I hope it lasts.
I hope it lasts long.
God.
We're gonna bring a lot of power banks. So
Big
whoever,
power banks and chargers.
So whoever's going to be going to ESGS, just if you find like 3 people with loads of bags and gadgets, that's got to be us. And a tripod. That's still shutting down.
And my laptop is still trying to
It's
shut
also
down.
living in lag.
Yes, so there's still lag in this podcast. So yeah, we're going to be talking about BlizzCon in a bit. They announced a heck of amount of new stuff for Blizzard, which is pretty interesting.
Brizado.
Later on in the podcast, we'll all be talking about not all, but pretty much DLC. Just that word, DLC, or downloadable content. For those who don't
Don't
know.
assume your audience knows. So that's why.
Yeah.
gotta
So if you
say
guys don't know, we
downloadable
will
content.
explain it and how it's bad or good. We'll talk about that in a
Or
bit.
how it's bad.
But first, before anything else, impressions, games, experiences.
Video game.
I've been playing Ryse, Son of Rome, which
Okay.
is the Xbox One release title, but I got it on PC.
It's not an Xbox. It's not an Xbox One exclusive.
Not anymore. It was, an
Or-
Xbox One it was an Xbox One release title, which wasn't exclusive at the time, and now it is now on PC.
It's a timed exclusive.
Yeah, by Crytek on Steam. And all I can say, it feels like a giant tech demo. Like, it's super pretty.
But that's it.
It's super pretty. And then the gameplay is very similar to what I would Have you played those PS2 like Lord of the Rings games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's
The really cheesy brawlers.
the cheesy brawlers with like an epic scene in the background and stuff.
Oh, those kinds of things where I want to be there. I want to be there
Yeah,
to
like
fight that.
the Two Towers game.
Yeah.
It plays like that with quick time events.
And Romans.
Isn't the whole game
And
a quick
Romans.
time event?
No, the quick time events is only during the executions. But basically, you beat up a guy until the little icon appears on his head. It's like God of War. Beat up a guy until the circle appears on the guy's head,
The mash circle.
and push it and do a quick time event and kill him. But it happens so often that the whole game practically boils down to a quick time
Can you
event.
kill? Wait, here's the big question for
Can you
you.
kill someone without the quick time
Yeah.
event? Yeah, you can.
Okay, because that'd be funny.
but-
Like you
but-
have to do a quick time event.
No, the quick
in
time
this thing.
events, you can do one of three.
There's a
But then
whole variety. You can.
They have different benefits.
Yeah, you can get depending on what you choose. There's executions that give you health, that give you focus, which is like your bullet time. Yeah, there's bullet time.
Of course.
There's bullet time.
They have like a checklist of what's popular. Bullet time, QTEs, graphics.
This one gives you extra XP, and there's another one that I don't remember what it does because I never use it.
There's something you don't. Okay, good.
Damage, I think, extra damage.
Because you don't
But
need
you're
that.
killing them.
You're
Yeah, but the
mutilating
thing is,
them.
I don't find that I need to use it because
They die too fast.
I'm killing them effectively enough. And I'm playing on the second to the hardest difficulty level. So this game is actually quite easy. There's a good amount of collectibles. And look, I can't say I'm not enjoying it. Like, it's dumb.
It's shallow fun.
It's brainless fun. The story is
brainless.
and it's very pretty.
And that's all that matters.
That's like the market that Microsoft was looking to get. Like,
This is Ryse, Son of Rome.
right,
With a
Rise,
Y.
Son of Rome with a Y. Rise with a Y.
Ryse with a Y, and was developed. Was developed
Like
by Crytek.
who are now having financial difficulties.
Yeah, they're the makers of Crisis 1, 2, and 3.
They're in a crisis right
They're in the
now.
crisis right now. But okay, Ryse, Son of Rome, it's now a PC exclusive. No, it's now on PC. Is it worth checking out, or is it just literally like
I would rent
if you actually like watch someone watch for an hour, you pretty much get
You totally
everything.
get it by watching it for an hour. Like it's definitely not. It doesn't have the same depth of combat as like God of War, and I think God of War is. I wouldn't say God of War has the most sophisticated combat system, but
There's stuff there.
it's competent. It's basically the baseline of what you would expect from an action game.
Yeah.
But like the story of God of War is just all the more epic. Also, here it's kind of.
It's the definition of epic.
Yeah, God of War, you mean?
Yeah, God of War.
It is pretty much. Like here, it doesn't feel. It's more based on reality. Like there are historical figures.
You're just a man.
There's but
You're just a Roman man.
The story is entertaining, but it doesn't feel. It doesn't have the.
There's no urgency or.
There's no urgency to it. Exactly, it doesn't have the epic feeling to it.
Characters are bland.
Characters are pretty bland.
one-dimensional.
It's like, they're so truly like the evil, like Roman, like selfish emperor.
And you're looking for your family
and you're
and
like
whatnot.
all honorable Roman guy, and there's like you meet Boudica of the Englishman at some point, and there's a whole dances with wolves thing that happens.
What? Are you
gonna
still
YouTube
in
that.
Europe?
I'm gonna YouTube that. How are the combinations though? This is a game that was heavily emphasized that you can actually do different kinds of combinations and whatnot.
It's PR fluff.
Can you do
It's
can you do
like
square,
what
square,
we
square
all-
the whole throughout?
You press
No,
the X,
that's-
X, and the
that's
Y,
thing.
Y,
You
Y.
can't.
Because that's what it looks
You
like.
can't square. Actually, what happens is if you use the same attack too often, they'll start dodging it. So it's more like square.
Triangle.
Well, in my case,
Square, square, triangle, square, square, X.
In my,
On
case,
PC.
yeah, in my case, it's left mouse, right mouse, left mouse, right mouse.
Or
And
right
then
mouse.
Space bar something.
that will always work.
And more or less, it works 99% of the time.
The XXX and the YYY.
Yeah, so it's XXY, sometimes. another
Sometimes
one.
A.
Sometimes A, and then
The AI goes, oh my god, he did something completely
He pressed
different.
A! Shit!
yeah,
no.
and then the little skull appears, and you push a button, and
The QT.
And then the
you
head
get to
flies
the
off.
QTE, yeah. And that's it, really.
Does the blood stay on your shirt?
No, that's not even disappointing thing.
You
Like,
think that would be the standard?
there's no, there are blood that comes out, but the
It
blood.
just doesn't go to anybody's
Yeah,
body.
exactly.
MK9 did that really
You're
well.
too clean. You're like in a shiny Roman outfit. It never gets dirty.
I paid money for this armor.
No, when you were talking about blood, I was like, well, Dragon Age Origins just had too much of that.
Yeah, that was just ridiculous to be like in a chantry with blood on your face.
Like right after like a bloodbath of killing all these
It
bandits,
just explodes.
it's just around your face in Dragon Age, and they're talking normally, like, yeah, and it's just everywhere.
I'll just walk
in
it
a
off.
massacre. So this was technically an exclusive Xbox One title.
For
And
a
I
year?
I can definitely see why they wanted it because it is pretty.
It's pretty.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, because that's what. Well, when it comes to like it's a day one or a launch title for
Yeah.
a
It needs
console.
to showcase.
It showcases.
It needs to be
I think
pretty.
it does showcase the graphical ability of the system well. Like I can't like it chugs on my PC, and my PC is pretty beefy. So
Oh, okay.
that goes to show like how I'm sure I don't know how it looks like.
I don't know, anything Crytek is chuggy. I mean,
Chuggy, yeah.
it's very chuggy.
You gotta get that HD grass, man.
But beyond that, I wouldn't even say it's a must-have title for the Xbox One at all. You can watch the YouTube of
At
it,
least not
or
anymore.
watch someone else play it, and you'd be fine.
Yeah.
So
Hoping for
that's
Killer
what I've
Instinct.
been playing. That's again, let me repeat though. That's not to say this is a bad game, but I don't think it's worth full price. So you can buy this on Steam. I don't know. So I would wait for a sale if you were interested.
Because
Wait for those usual sales. They'll bring it down to
I
like
wouldn't.
70%.
I wouldn't
off.
buy it full price at all, though. I don't think it's worth it at all. I wish it were though, because I want to help Crytek out, give them money, but I can't justify it personally.
Well, that's sad. That's sad to hear. Well, that's Ryse. There you go. That's their latest game. I
That's
think.
Ryse on PC. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
there
for
you
PC.
go.
But it's the same thing. Technically,
Pretty
Xbox
much.
One. You played it with the controller, right? No.
No, I play with a mouse, and
keyboard.
it plays fine with a mouse.
So you're saying it didn't rise to the occasion?
I wish we had the Pamela sound effects right now. To give you that
Wah,
trombone.
wah.
Hey, that's the bright side. There's no lag. So,
True.
like, I don't have to make like heavy edits for this.
Video games
podcast.
don't make us angry. Lag does.
That's so true. That's just so true. What about you, Migs? How was your week? How was your video game sessions? I don't know. How do I explain that?
No, before I do any of the other more modern games, I'm trying to finish up some old things. Because we were talking about Star Wars Episode 7 earlier today. And
Because everybody else.
remember May 4, Star Wars Day, May the 4th be with you, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. I live streamed Star Wars Episode 1 on PlayStation 1.
You live stream that?
Yeah, during the
The
night.
Phantom Menace game on
Yeah, on
PlayStation
PlayStation
1.
1. And it was a smooth stream, and I was able to salvage the archives of that before Twitch killed all the archives. And I thought, like, oh, maybe I should just continue this game.
Okay.
And, oh, man, that game is bullshit.
That game has not aged well.
Did
Even,
not age
like,
well?
when I think about it, even back then, that was pretty...
Because I heard the best part of
kinda
those
bad.
old Star Wars Episode 1 games was just the pod racing for the most part.
The pod racing arcade
yeah, that's
game.
true. Like, I think
Yeah.
when it comes to episode 1, I think the
The
best
pod racing.
part was doing, I can race, with a pod.
Oh, there was pod racing and Jedi Power Battles, which was like the co-op arcade beat 'em up style.
it was
which I found
it was
fun.
like the third. No, I'm on third person.
Isometric.
Isometric, yes. And then
How
I
would you
think
play? You play as Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
And Samuel Jackson when he does
Oh, dude.
automatic sword powers, because
so I remember I was really. I was kind of. It was kind of appealing to me at some points because you can. That's the first time, like, I can actually deflect, like.
Yeah, if you time
Yeah.
your guard right, you send a laser
Oh, yeah,
back.
this is the time when like 3D, like this is probably one of the first game that really had the lightsaber deflecting in 3D.
I'm guessing
'Cause-
so. This was before Jedi
Yeah.
Knight 1. Oh, Jedi Knight 2. Because 1 had, I think,
Well, Jedi Knight was
guns.
all over the place, really.
Yeah, Jedi Knight 2, you're right. It's Jedi Knight 2. Jedi Knight 2, I think, was in 97, 96
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
I
a
don't
bit later
remember.
in the day. It was on PC too, so.
Why do I have a cold? Okay, so episode 1.
Yeah,
it did not age well.
even back then, because it's just, you're Obi-Wan and you can use guns. That's about how
That's
you can use
wrong. That's already
bazookas.
wrong.
Who developed
And
this? This is LucasArts, right?
It was, I think, It was published by LucasArts. It was made by, I think, Big Ape Studios. which
But
are
you know
probably
what
long
happened
dead
was-
now.
What probably happened was they had a shooter game ready to go, and then they got the Star Wars license, so suddenly they had to just reskin it.
I think
They had-
there was one point where Obi-Wan used a gun.
Yeah,
A-
but
a
here you can get
blaster?
like a Gatling gun and a rocket launcher and like grenades and all that.
Because they have hands.
Because
They can
Star Wars. And you'd think that the lightsaber is the most powerful thing, but you need those guns. Because the game, you want hard. This game is hard.
Oh God! Like you have to pick up those to like have a little fighting
Yeah, like
chance.
because your weapons carry over per stage. So there was this one time where instead of me loading my save, because you can save anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
It's either that or you restart the entire stage, which the stages are long and painful. So yeah, if you restart, you lose all your weapons except for your lightsaber.
What can I say that the lightsabers? No, I can't remember.
You can
anymore.
deflect, but you can't deflect everything.
Can you
So
not-
like if there's 3 droids, you'll get chipped away.
Is there like a level thing system where you can improve your?
No.
Okay.
Actually,
We're not that advanced.
It's not that advanced.
No,
There's no upgrade system.
In
or
terms
whatnot.
of like rose tinted glasses, this stuck to me because it had dialogue trees.
Woohoo!
So like there's one stage where you end
What
up
year is
in
this?
Dialogue 2001.
maybe
I guess.
96, 97.
No, Phantom Menace came out in early 2000.
99, I think, 2000.
So it couldn't have been 97.
It can't be Sabay with a.
It could be because it uses scenes from the movie in cutscenes.
Oh, there. So it must have been 2000, 2001.
Yeah. Okay.
It does not look
But
like
that would have made it one of the later
PS1 games.
PS1 games to be released.
To be fair, it does make its own CGI cutscenes, which look fairly okay.
At that
Like
time.
instead of using just movie cutscenes,
Yeah.
they made their own CGI things.
Oh, well, that's better in a way because movie cutscenes back in those days were like
So
the
cheesy.
screen like had to shrink,
Yeah.
and it's like
And it's so
at
pixelated.
10 frames per second.
I don't know if we talked about this in the podcast, but what's the best kind of Star Wars game?
I like Jedi Power.
I like X-wing. Like that was.
Oh, they just brought that back
They
too.
just did too.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
wait, simulator, because I was like thinking RPG.
Well,
Oh no,
you
I'm
mean like-
talking about overall, but I'm just saying like I was expecting you guys would think like up the RPG. things would be okay.
the Old Republic games were great. Like I really liked them, but for me, my favorite of all time was X-wing,
The
TIE
X-Wing.
Fighter, X-wing Alliance,
That's why Rogue Squadron did so well.
and now that Good Old Games is bringing them back in an updated version, so that's fantastic.
And in a state you can actually run in.
Yeah, because trying to get the old discs to run now on a modern PC is a nightmare. Like I have the old TIE Fighter CD here, and you need a joystick. Like it will not let you play with a keyboard and mouse.
It does not have that kind of support.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
the thing. That's the thing. And back in the DOS days, having a joystick wasn't so common.
Yeah.
But now, like, unless you're a flight sim
A
guy,
flight sim guy.
you wouldn't have
a
one.
No, but that's kind of weird. Like, does that? I don't know. Do you remember that game come with a joystick or?
No, I didn't get a joystick with it. But I mean, I remember when.
What happens with those who don't have a joystick if they didn't have that kind of
I
like,
had
dual
I think
support?
2 back then, and we had like multiple DOS ship shooters
Oh,
back then.
Yeah, but that for me
Like-
is
They were more common than PC gamepads
PC gamepads are quite rare actually.
back then.
Yeah, and the ones that came out were terrible. Like the guys who.
The really crap D-pads.
Yeah, people had no idea what they were. Like,
I beat Mega Man X on one of those.
but for me, like X-wing, TIE Fighter, I love those games. It's bits. Like Wing Commander, also. I mean, it's the same genre basically. But, I'd say Star Wars is such a rich space opera kind of thing.
Yeah,
with different
and
ship
like
types.
every movie would have that sort of scene where it's
with
a big
always
space
a big
battle.
space battle, right? And that's what those games actually
It's
did
a
a very
set piece,
good
right?
job of making you feel like a part of those gigantic space battles. So if you can get it on Good Old Games, they'll have X-wing and TIE
How much
Fighter.
is it?
I don't know the price actually. I read this. I think I read it on Kotaku or somewhere. I haven't actually checked the price yet.
you always laugh when you mention Kotaku.
It just feels so dirty.
Feels Kotaku.
Oh,
Like I look at them
those
too, but like,
clickbait titles.
Listen, I don't know. Every time whenever I mention or link Kotaku, like Miguel's like,
it's like
he shrugs away.
I
and goes
hesitate a
forward.
bit. Do I click this? Oh,
Is it just clickbait?
oh shit.
What about you, Miguel? Instead
Yeah,
of Star Wars, is it the movies or?
It's based on the movie where you go through the areas that they went, like the.
No, I mean, no.
What's your favorite kind of Star Wars?
Yeah,
game?
like
Oh no, for me, I just like Jedi power battles is one of the best.
So would you like? But would you like
Decent lightsaber fight.
Oh, so like say the Force
Outcast?
Unleashed. Would that count?
Was it Outcast?
Outcast 2 and maybe 3.
Outcast was the one where
Outcast,
you
yeah,
can go,
yeah. Where it goes third person with lightsabers.
Yeah.
Then you go all first person with the guns.
Force Unleashed, was that something you enjoyed?
I didn't try the next gen version of Force Unleashed, but I played the one that was on Wii and was ported to PS2 and PSP. And that's the better version because it's a completely different game. It's a God of War clone, but imagine like force powers that you can buff. Because in Force Unleashed, the premise was you're a dark side who becomes a Jedi, diba? So you have lightning powers.
Okay.
But then, you can become a good guy. So even though you have Force choke and all that.
So you probably did not like the Kinect Star Wars game.
I don't have one,
Okay,
but I've
yeah.
seen it, and
I've tried it.
You have.
The dancing one apparently is the best one.
The lightsaber battles apparently are terrible in that game.
I remember.
All you do is just like that or whatever.
And it
I remember
respond.
when I was in Taiwan, there was a display in a game store. They had a
Kinect.
They had Xbox 360, they had the Kinect, and they had the Star Wars. So technically, there was no one there. The kids every now and then would jump and play it.
And then find out it doesn't work.
Yeah. So I went up there and I tried it. It's like that, waving your hands everywhere. And your lightsaber might go the way your arm is going.
Might go.
It's really weird. I don't know if it's the Kinect position or whatnot,
No,
but
there was a Conan O'Brien video where he
I
played
just walked
that,
away after that.
and the lightsaber parts look fine. It's the ones that you have to do after that, like step forward or step back. That
Yeah, when you step
it
forward, you
starts to
actually jump.
Starts getting iffy, yeah, when you have to jump and all that.
Because when you move your right leg forward, that's you indicating that hey, move
I want to
forward.
walk forward.
But
They
sometimes
don't
you're
do that.
crouching. You're not doing anything. When it comes to Star Wars games, I have to go with the Old Republic. That portion of the Star Wars
Universe.
lore,
It's Mass Effect.
the
for
way
Mass Effect.
before everything, that was really interesting.
Did
And-
you enjoy the MMO? Did you play the MMO?
I did.
Galaxies.
That one, that one too. I
No,
guess.
did anybody play Galaxies?
Galaxies was the first one. But
Yeah.
The
The one with Darth Vader roaming
I
around.
don't know if you played that.
I haven't played that.
Okay, that was okay actually, but that again,
For its time.
no, obviously it hasn't aged well as far as MMO conventions go. It's still very EverQuesty, if that's the right term. If that's even the
Yeah,
term.
okay, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's very old school.
Yeah, old
But
school.
it was one of those games where you had, if things worked right, they would work fantastically right. You'd have like AT-ST walkers, all player controlled, fighting other like rebels. It's cool. But I'm talking about the Old Republic MMO, the EA, the more recent one. That,
Yeah,
The
I played
canon
that.
one.
that flopped big time, right?
That flop the one free to play.
first
Yeah.
I played it. I played when it was subscription based. I tried it for a month.
Yeah.
I went from level 1 to the max level and whatnot.
In Unsith or
I was
Or
what
Jedi.
was I was Jedi.
okay.
I was a Jedi Guardian. I was the guy with one hand, just one hand. Because in that game, you can either be a one-hander or a
Or
dual-hander.
it's double, yeah.
And then usually the support Jedi's are the one with the dual sabers or the two sabers.
Yeah.
The
And
dual
the Darth
ones.
Maul.
The Darth Maul type, yeah. Those are quote unquote the healers or the support.
What?
I played it. Yeah, it is. It's okay. It was a very bland environment. It wasn't that. It didn't really grab me in terms of like the lore and whatnot. The story was interesting because it was very similar to Mass Effect and other games because you have the wheel
It's BioWare, yeah.
and it's
Mass
completely
Effect.
voiced, fully voiced. Everything you talk about is true. Everything you meet,
that's
it's
cool.
voiced, and it's an MMO. Going through the story is very interesting.
Well, after
That's
that,
it.
That's it. When you're done with the story,
Yeah, the time when like I think the first few months of Star Wars: The Old Republic, the content they had for Endgame and for PvP that did not bode well with me at all. And the gameplay is very similar to World of Warcraft, so you're not really missing out on anything.
no,
unique.
exactly. And the thing World of Warcraft has going for it is just there's so much content that I think the problem that happened with the Old Republic MMO was that people really went through it faster than expected, and then
Because the story was pretty good.
yeah, and then they're at the end. It's like, hey, what are we gonna do now? Like, there's one fucking raid, or I don't know how many raids there were, and then there's only so long that can keep people.
When it comes to MMO, that's the big problem because when you hit that last level and then you're placed now up, you can do endgame.
yeah,
You're gonna hit a roadblock because in PvP, for example, you're going against the people who have higher gear, PvP gear. So if you have no gear and it will still match you up with people with better gear.
Right.
So they have a completely better edge, so that completely discourages you from playing it. And then, of course, endgame dungeons, you need better gear, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
It's
very gear-oriented still.
it's very discouraging. You'd rather just play the whole game again, all over again with a new character. Because what's cool about that one is each class has its own story. Like, if you go to Smuggler, it has its own personal story. And then, I think midway through this playthrough, you have $57 in your store.
The PS Store finally updated. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry guys.
Hey, this is how the PS Store looks like now in the PS3?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been this way for a while.
I thought that was the PS4 only.
I think they did this when they released the PS4.
Oh, okay, because I haven't had a PS3 in a long. We're looking at the PS3
Sorry,
store now.
my PS.
Just buy
Okay,
Margaret
no, but
right
long
now.
story short, though, the Old Republic MMO, it's just if you want to play it, it's just for the campaign. You can actually get that. You can actually do the campaign for free. That whole thing is free because it's a free-to-play game. You just
The
play
entire
the whole thing.
story.
You can play the entire story for free
That's
right
cool.
now. So that's the only thing I think I'd suggest. 'Cause
Definitely check out the single player, the old Black Isle.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
The Old Republic 1 and 2. That's pretty much similar to, I guess, Dragon Age and Baldur's Gate, those kinds
Pretty
of
much
games.
the precursor to Mass Effect. And
Yeah, pretty much the precursor to Mass Effect. If you want something classical, like something like what BioWare did, like very, I think they were well polished game. The Old Republic for sure. That's also on iOS. That's also on the tablet.
Wow. I did not expect that.
It works apparently. I didn't think it would work. That was that.
Oh, last bit about the Force Unleashed on PS2 and Wii.
Go.
Just imagine the Force powers, but more Dragon Ball style when you max them out. Like you do a Force push so hard, you can see it. Like, you know how a heat wave looks in real life? Like it's waving, like whatever you're looking at. Imagine that, and it makes a loud pop at the end, and basically kills anyone you push.
Well, that game was a very graphics heavy game because of the effects. Really.
I'm talking about the Wii and PS2 one. It's different from the PS3 and 360.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Subaga's graphics.
And it plays better, and you take your Force powers to the extreme.
To the
Parang,
extreme.
like you can do whatever you want. You can pick up a guy with the Force, start choking him with L, and then zap him with lightning, and then throw him off a cliff.
That
Just because.
Just because you can.
Or,
Overkill.
or like you pick up this rock from a piece of a statue and hurl it at a guy.
just
Just
because
because.
you can. Just-
Why not?
yeah.
And you have all these lightsaber like buffs. Like you can do a ground slam
Yeah.
because Force, and then Force air dashing and all that. And then you can actually like you pick up a guy, you choke him, zap him with lightning, you throw your lightsaber at him and throw him to his friends.
I'm almost positive that we're going to see I think the next Star Wars game will be probably together with Episode 7, if ever. Because I think the only announced Star Wars game at this point in the future is Battlefront.
Battlefront 3.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other game.
And that game is just set piece war moments
Yeah.
from all the other movies.
But an actual Star Wars game that's new canon or whatever. Whatever.
Dark Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, whatever.
But on episode 1 on PS1, you'll probably see that on the channel anyway. Because I'm going to trudge through that no matter what.
Are you buying stuff right
No. This is stuff I had. So I had
In his-
old shit
in his
in
cart.
my cart. So I'm just
Oh, you have all
rid
the
of
Dark
it.
Souls 2 DLC.
I haven't got them yet. Here's the new Castlevania DLC that we need to get.
Oh my god. Hey, isn't that from the first game?
Yeah, I haven't got
Okay,
it.
anyway.
Sorry, guys.
They can't understand this one because we're just staring at
Oh,
the
well, wait,
PS4.
maybe they can. Oh shit. Oh, what's happening right
Are you
now?
going to put it in the video version of it?
Oh, no. I'm testing how long these batteries will last.
Oh, okay. You should do that, though, actually, for the YouTube version.
I'll try.
Just for the heck of it. For me, though, with impressions, aside from me,
it's
from
not
the
recording
usual Destiny playing I do every
Yeah.
day, like it feels like a regular thing now, like just like someone reads a paper. I do a match in Destiny every now and then. The PS Plus Instant Game Collection has already been updated, and I get to pick up Binding of Isaac together with I forget this other game. I think I won't mention it because I didn't replay it yet, but it's free for PS4 and Vita games. The new version of Binding of Isaac. It's called Binding of Isaac Reborn or Rebirth, and it's actually pretty big in the PS4. It's actually 500 MB. And
That's not that big.
That's probably the same size as be on a PC then, I guess.
no, PC is like 74 MB.
Really? For the new version?
No, I'm talking about the old version.
Oh, the old one,
That's
yeah.
that's the first indication. Like when I saw that, like that's not right. Why is it so huge all of a
Too
sudden?
big for a Flash game.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not a Flash game. This game isn't like another expansion, the Rebirth version of Binding of Isaac. It's actually
They remade it.
a remake. I mean,
entire
they
thing.
actually, instead of making a remake of the Flash game, they made it into a
Instead of a port of the Flash
yeah,
game.
instead of a port, it's actually a new game engine. And essentially, for those who don't know, Binding of Isaac, it's pretty much a top-down
Twin stick shooter.
It's a roguelike twin stick shooter.
twin stick shooter.
Procedurally generated. That's the term.
Really, really random, and I fairly enjoyed
And
it.
kind of twisted too, like the art
Based off the
style.
Bible.
It is based on the Bible, but like it's just
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's based off
Isaac.
Isaac.
Yeah,
Oh,
the story
yeah.
of Isaac. And then,
I just realized it now. Okay,
okay.
it did not. It did not cross
Did
my
not
mind.
click with your
No,
head.
it did not. Okay. Okay. For one, the story.
It's about a mom.
It's about a mom, and it's about a
Shoves
kid.
His kid. Yeah.
It's about he has a mom. It's a kid called Isaac, and the mom is pretty much a god.
Like a big monster.
She's a
Not really a
religious,
big monster.
parang
Religious freak.
fanatic or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a huge fanatic.
And she's-
And for some reason, she had a calling
She's
one
gonna
day.
sacrifice her child named
Yeah,
Isaac.
for the God's orders, you have to kill your child, or else you'll be a sinner,
What the hell, yeah.
or you'll be sent to hell. So of course, her being a fanatic, she would she obliged. She goes to the room with a knife, trying to kill Isaac, and what Isaac does he runs straight to the basement to hide, or to get away from the mom.
And there's just all
Was
kinds
it a
of
basement
weird-
or like a box?
It's a basement.
It's a hatch, like it goes down the
and there's just
basement.
all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah, and pretty much you go down the basement. Isaac is
He locks himself
welcome.
down there.
Locks himself down there, and he gets welcomed by all these hellish monstrosities that he has to kill via tear.
It's
Yeah,
tears.
that's his projectile.
Because like when you guys play this game, your only form of defense in like default without any upgrades is Isaac's tears. When he closes his eyes, he just like his tears become his bullets.
Yeah, then you get like pretty sick power ups, like a crown of thorns. Then you shoot blood tears or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw that.
it's a bunch of, and there's so many of them. Like I haven't played the new one, but the old one already had a ton of items.
The old one already in itself had a lot of items, and then they had an expansion called I forget what it's called, but they had an expansion that added more characters and then more items. More characters, more items, and more bosses. And now Rebirth, they did a whole restructure of the game, added more items, added more bosses, added more stages, to the point that this is a roguelike game, meaning you play it over and over, it's procedurally generated. And to the point with all those add-ons, it's every time you play it again and again, you hardly get to see those items all over again. And it's really cool because when you play it and then you get these upgrades as you go from room to room, you start to see that these upgrades start to mesh well. Like all of a sudden you have Isaac with green tears that give poison, but at the same time it goes zigzaggedy. It goes like that little.
Instead of straight.
Yeah, because you picked up a ringworm on the way. Because you can get trinkets that upgrade specific elements in your character. So at the end of the game, at the end of your playthrough, Isaac, in terms of how he looks completely different, and then you have these all powers.
His base design is he's like a naked child.
Yeah, he's like completely
no
bare.
hair.
And every time you get an upgrade or anything, it kind of alters his appearance.
Physical appearance.
His physical appearance.
And in terms of like stage transitions, imagine it's like the Legend of Zelda original game, top down, but then you go screen per screen
Yeah.
and reveal it like an old dungeon explorer,
Yep.
and that's the procedural generated parts. The rooms are random.
Like how would I explain it? Like you go down on a room, and then from the left side, right side, like if there's a door, you enter on the left side, you go to another room, and you essentially you pretty much explore that whole floor, and then once you're done,
You go down.
further down, and then because each floor has a boss, and once you defeat that boss, you get more upgrades, and then you go on to another floor completely with a whole different set of monsters and bosses. And essentially, it being a rogue game, if you die, all of that's gone, and then you're back down on the first floor of the basement, all completely naked. And then once you play it again, everything's completely different. the kinds of monsters you play, you beat, and all that. It's not an easy game though. It's definitely worth double dipping.
This was made by the guys who did Super Meat Boy in the back. So
Is it?
Yeah, the art style is also very similar looking.
I always thought they were just friends. 'Cause there's actually some items that actually
Oh yeah, they have
give
like
a nod.
indie game items. Diba?
Yeah, they have a cube of meat.
Yep. I think it was the same guys then,
They have a cube of
like
meat.
originally.
But I'm having a lot of fun with this game. It's actually a big surprise. I think I went through like maybe 20 playthroughs. I'm not done with it at all.
Them roguelikes.
Them roguelikes.
So good.
But so far, my latest 10, like I said, I did not win once. And then there's a thing on before you start the game. It says their win streak. It says they're -10. I mean, because I haven't.
Like the original game, I had like 5-7 endings.
It has 20 now here. And this is another cool part. Like, if you finish the game, which will pretty much take you maybe around 15 to 20 minutes. When you do that, you actually unlock more weapons, more items, and then more levels and bosses to encounter. So that when you play the next playthrough, it'll feel longer, especially your first time finishing it. The first time you finish, I think you go through like 5 levels or 5 floors. When you finish it, your next playthrough will have 8 floors to go through. And then your
gets
final
harder and harder.
and then your final boss is actually completely different, because I think the first time
all the bosses are different. Usually, there's
all the end game bosses.
And that's how you get your different endings. Diba?
So it gets harder and harder and
even
worse.
characters, as far as I know.
Yeah, there are specific characters also with specific unique items that make it a little bit different, which is pretty damn cool. And I think it's $50 in Steam. It's also out in Steam. I'm not too sure if it's as big as the PS4 version, but I'm definitely liking it a lot.
And like now it's for this month. It's free on PS4 and PS Vita.
Yeah, PS Vita. If you guys have a PS Plus, you can pick it up.
It's a perfect game for the Vita.
It's a perfect game for the Vita. It's a perfect game if you want to kill some time, because it's a good 15-20 minutes per playthrough. And it's not cheap at all. Like when you die, you understand why you died. So I'm actually playing that. I think last night it took me I spent my whole evening on that one. All right, moving on. The biggest one that came out this week, BlizzCon.
Woo! Lots of new stuff.
Blizzard convention.
Yeah, believe it or not, it's like it's BlizzCon. It's all about Blizzard, a game company that only has 1, 2, 3.
4 now.
Well, yeah, we're gonna get to that in a bit. But they only had like 3 franchises.
Warcraft,
but now,
StarCraft, and Diablo.
and now
a new one called Overwatch.
Overwatch.
But I was just thinking, wouldn't it be hilarious if I think Blizzard is the only company that can get away with doing this, having a convention just for their shit. Or I think CCP does it also, don't they? For
The what?
like a
Convention named after
like a
them.
convention just for the company.
What, Minecon?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, but that's
Okay.
something else.
Well, I was thinking that'd be hilarious if EA tried to pull some shit like that.
EA-Con.
Oh God!
They're conning
Econ.
people.
Yeah.
The
they do
actual
that
word
in
of
real
con.
life.
Pre-order tickets, get free DLC for for Battlefield or whatever.
Get a
When you
gun
walk
for
in, they
battle
give you a code.
for a gun. Yeah, we'll talk about DLC in a bit.
EA is gonna be taking a lot of shit.
But anyway, yes, they announced Overwatch. That's a new franchise. This is a completely new IP coming from Blizzard, which has been a long time. I don't think we ever heard of anything new.
The last new thing we heard was Project Titan, which actually there's zero information about, very little information about out there.
But the devs announced, or right after they revealed Overwatch, they did confirm that some of the assets, or maybe especially the setting and the maps, are all taken from the Titan project. So that alone, because this game Overwatch is actually set in a futuristic Earth, so it's a sci-fi game, and it's a first-person shooter sci-fi game. So if they got the assets from Titan, then we would have had a MMORPG that is in the futuristic sense, in like an Earth, like futuristic Earth kind of deal. So Overwatch, first-person shooter. What do you guys think about that one? You guys saw the trailer?
Yeah, we saw the trailer. It's Team Fortress basically. That's the concept. Looks like Team Fortress 2.
First-person arena.
Different classes, each with distinct personality and play style.
They were saying that there could be players will be able to choose between the damage dealers, the tanks, the support, and I think I forgot what the other one is, but there's specific.
And crowd control, I guess.
I don't know, but there's specific classes. But from what I'm seeing is what they've revealed so far. Like as much as there's specific classes, each one are very unique in terms of even character and gameplay.
Yep. Actually, what we don't know about is the gameplay modes. I don't know if they talked about that, but from the trailer, that wasn't really shown what kind of gameplay modes there were, apart from
the regular arena.
About capture the point and kill, which is basic.
Yeah.
What you would expect, right? The beauty of of Team Fortress is the variety of maps and game types it has, and the customability of the whole thing, like the hat economy, essentially, right? And how within the same class you could have different weapon types, which will dramatically change how you play that particular class.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, is that going to be here? I'm guessing it will. I mean,
it will.
Blizzard has the resources behind
Blizzard
it.
so far has a microtransaction for everything. Oh,
Not everything.
not everything, but I think when it comes to, like, for example, Hearthstone, they have a microtransaction for that.
Yeah.
It didn't really backlash hard. I mean,
No,
it was
didn't.
actually well received, actually, and it's actually a perfect one for, like, it's a card game. You know what I mean?
You
But
buy
yeah,
booster packs.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to put it in that sense, because I'm sure a lot of people are getting that Team Fortress vibe anyway too.
Right.
It's probably going to be all cosmetics.
And, well, I mean, it's big shoes to fill. Team Fortress is still an amazingly fun game to this day. And there have been other, like these team-based arena games that can, like, you remember a game called Monday Night Combat?
Yep.
That tried to copy it. I don't think it did
didn't
as
do
well.
very well.
It didn't do
It
very
didn't
well.
do as well as Team Fortress, even though it was a similar idea. But, you know, this is Blizzard we're talking about, and the trailer we saw just... it looks like they've done their homework on this.
Oh my god! If you guys check, I'll put the links below for you guys to check out the first official footage and gameplay footage of Overwatch. But if you guys, speaking on the cinematics alone only,
It looks like a Disney movie.
it looks like a Pixar. It looks like
Pixar movie.
It looks like a Pixar movie, and I think that's how great Diablo is with cinematics, because we've seen them in the grittier side and the high fantasy side with Diablo. We've seen them in the sci-fi sense, thanks to StarCraft,
fantasy sense as well,
and then high
Warcraft.
fantasy with World of Warcraft again. And now we have them, I guess, in the sci-fi, high fantasy thing. But now they can actually do a cartoony feel. Like this is the first time they do cartoony.
It's very family friendly.
Yeah, they're like it
Not
reminds me of
bright
Big
colors
Hero
with
6
neon.
that
Yeah, it
just
looks
came
like
out
Big
now.
Hero 6.
That's a good point of comparison, actually.
And that cinematic trailer alone shows so much character for a game that just was just recently announced. Because like you get introduced by these two kids that traditional kids were like admiring the museum of Overwatch and whatnot, and then you're introduced by the four characters, and those characters. I guess the enemies weren't that. Was that?
Actually, you do have to admit that a lot of the character classes you saw, you get a vibe. Like we saw
Which type?
the demon hunter kind of character we saw, the Reaper.
The Reaper.
We had the sniper, which reminded me a lot of a ghost.
Yeah.
We had like what else was there? There's the freaking dwarf. Dwarf.
The turret builder.
The turret building dwarf. I mean, how stereotypical can you get?
Yeah.
Right? So like I can see a lot of the Blizzard like pedigree in it. Because the dwarf looks like a dwarf right out of Warcraft.
His beard glows when he gets mad.
Yeah. And did you hear what he said? He said molten core.
Yeah.
When he got angry.
It was like a Scottish
that
accent.
was his move. Was molten core being, of course, a dungeon in World of Warcraft, right? So, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an orc character in the future or something. But yeah, I'm very open to this. Like I like Team Fortress 2 a lot, and this game looks like it could be just as fun, if not more so. Depends again on, I think, the balancing of teams, of the classes, and
the arena designs.
the arena designs and the game types that are available. Because one big thing, Team Fortress did well was the stages are just so well designed that it's.
I don't know. For me, the one thing that's kind of appealing or kind of pulling me into this is the characters. I guess.
Yeah, the
The
characters look
characters,
really interesting.
they do have a lot of.
I would like to know more about that teleporter because she seems really cool.
or the gorilla,
Or
Gorilla
Winston.
with the jetpack.
There's a gorilla with a jetpack
talking gorilla
that got pissed off with his glasses.
He's very polite too.
And there's a Japanese samurai guy who summons dragons.
Chinese
There's
dragons.
a robot that turns into a turret. There's a dwarf.
The robot looked cool as hell. I like
He
that.
becomes a defense turret with a shield.
Then you had the Indian lady who summons out portals and traps.
Yeah, which I guess that's the support class
And
in a
then you had the
sense.
big German guy in armor.
The medic with like dragon wings.
Oh yeah, you had the medic,
Angel-ish. But there's a lot of character coming out of this game, and that's the one thing that really appealed to me because
That was also one of the appealing things in Team Fortress, like how kooky all the characters were.
yep, like the scout, the soldier, they actually have their own personalities, and if they can put the same level of characteristics onto the upcoming characters that they'll implement in the game, it could be a very rich franchise indeed.
and if they can do the lore properly, also like
Yeah, I really want to see the lore because the lore it looks appealing already to make it a very a lore that people invest in, just like how people are invested in Diablo,
Or League of
StarCraft,
Legends.
or League of Legends. They're just starting now, like
Or
they're
like
trying to
Dota.
mesh up the characters.
Yeah.
Dota has actually Valve did a fantastic job with the lore.
Oh, they did.
I think they did, yeah. They gave everyone a story and everything, so we'll see. I guess.
Now, if you just watch the CGI cinematic for what's the name of this
Overwatch.
Overwatcher, you'd think it was a movie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought it was a game. Actually, it looked like
Yeah, if you only saw that, you'd
Yeah.
think it was a full-on movie.
What's really cool though is once you I showed it to Miggy, the trailer and the cinematic, and then we jumped into the gameplay trailer showing all those other characters and the actual footage of the game. Whatever we saw there, it seems like they transferred perfectly to the game. Like they look exactly like the ones in the cinematics.
They were doing the moves.
And
that
they're
they
doing
did
the
in
moves that they were
cinematic.
actually being like the widow, the sniper, the teleporter.
The Demon Hunter did a super.
Yeah, that was actually super, stuff like that. That was pretty cool. Again, this is a first-person shooter. I'm not sure, it's not an arena. I'm not too exactly sure how to put it, but it's a FPS
Team-based.
multiplayer, team-based multiplayer.
Yeah.
And this is Blizzard. I don't think I've ever seen Blizzard do a first-person shooter. So this is definitely
New ground for them.
very new ground for them. They know how to make a multiplayer game for sure. They know how to make a competitive multiplayer game. So expect this to be very competitive. Because for some reason, up to now, I think all their games except Diablo are high-level esports play. Like Hearthstone, all of a sudden, is bam. A lot of people are playing it competitively and like professionally. StarCraft 2, World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Diablo, there's no PvP, so too bad. But they still play it. So I'm actually pretty excited about this. I already signed up for the beta though. Like you can actually sign up for the beta. You go to the site, you log into your Battle.net, and then you can opt.
You
for
can opt into
yeah.
the beta. Okay, that's cool. So anyone wants to try that, give that a go. Definitely check it out. What else did they showcase? They showcased.
Well, right now Blizzard's currently happening, but once this episode's out, everything should be over.
They showed the new StarCraft. The new.
Yeah, they actually opened up the BlizzCon with that. They officially announced the third expansion for StarCraft 2, which is
the Protoss campaign, which is
it's the Protoss campaign.
something of the Void.
Yeah, and essentially this is the expansion that actually continues on to the first story, because the second story, which is Heart of the Swarm, was more focused on Kerrigan's like vengeance, I guess, like
It was
I don't know.
a freaking love story.
I mean, is it a love story?
Yeah, just
Kerrigan and then Rainer, yeah.
I didn't really finish the first story. Was it really a love story?
No, the first story. I don't want to spoil it. There might be
Okay.
still people there, but it's still focused a lot, mostly on Kerrigan, not so much on the Protoss and
Terran.
the Protoss aspect. So far, the main conflict has been mainly Terrans
And Kerrigan.
and Zerg. The Protoss have are been there, but more in a like, okay, they're just there, and we have to kill them too, or whatever.
But this third expansion, though, Legacy of the Void, that's what it's called. This one, because I think if you guys played the first story bit, it was pretty much the first one, the Terran campaign. I'm not gonna spoil it or anything, but it pretty much continues on to where it is, like the main overall story, where it was leading up to, aside from the whole Kerrigan Raynor
Love
love story.
yeah.
There's a main story in StarCraft 2, and Legacy of the Void pretty much continues that or ends it. And if you guys have finished the first part of the Terran campaign, you'll know what I'm talking about because they continue that. And this is actually pretty cool because I fairly enjoyed the story of the first campaign. I didn't quite get the second campaign because I knew it was all about Kerrigan.
And you don't find her a very appealing character, or?
No, not really. I didn't. No, no, not at all.
Okay.
And I was kind of like off already with the whole competitive play of it, so I didn't.
Well, this is going to just add to it. Like, there's obviously new units again. Rebalancing again will happen, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I haven't really jumped down to the added units for Legacy of the Void. But they already have it already in the show floor in BlizzCon. They're playing with it, and they're going through the whole play testing and whatnot. And there's a lot. There's gonna be a lot for Zerg, a lot for Terran, and it's gonna be a complete. The meta of the multiplayer aspect of StarCraft 2 will be completely different again, and that's gonna be pretty exciting.
But the big thing actually is this is the last game in the StarCraft 2 line.
This is the last expansion. That's what they said. Because when they announced StarCraft 2, they said they'll have 2 more expansions, which will come, and each race will have their own expansion.
Exactly, right? Yeah, so this is the last one.
This is the last one.
So, what's the future of StarCraft beyond this? You know, that's something I think we have to wait and see if it'll be another RTS, if it'll be a different kind of game altogether.
Yeah, well, Legacy of the Void is nowhere close to being like ready for shipment or whatever. They just announced it. They have like. They're thinking about a beta. They haven't been given a date for the beta for those who are interested. So it's very far off. Like I think we'll get news about the beta maybe probably second quarter of 2015, whatnot. Because right now they just officially announced it. There a lot of people are testing out some of the new characters. Like there's actually a new carrier for the Protoss.
Wow!
So we'll check out that. There's a lot of cool new units to play around with. So there's also the ones we addition to the expansion. There's a new mode called what is that? Siege mode. And I don't know what this means yet. People are there's not much details about it, but that's a new game mode that'll be added to Legacy of the Void. It's called Siege mode. So we will check. So we will check that out. So
and I guess we should mention at this point, Warlords of Draenor. For World of Warcraft, it's being released either already out or very soon. Did they make any mention of anything new as far as World of Warcraft is concerned?
World of Warcraft, the only big news that came out of BlizzCon, aside from because everybody knows already at this point what World of Warcraft, and it's coming out like in a couple of weeks. It's coming out in November. The only thing that World of Warcraft news is pretty much the movie. They're really focused on the movie called Warcraft. They're heavily advertising this movie. They have some posters. They're giving out some posters to people. And
I haven't seen a single poster for this film yet. So
there's now. They already officially released it. They actually asked some people, they asked some of the fans to gather up into a small corner and then shouted for the Horde, like really loud and something, or for the Alliance, and they're gonna use that audio DAO for the movie because they'll have some war cries for like when that happens. So I guess there's gonna be a big clash of battle when they say for the Horde or whatever. They're gonna use that crowd noise. World of Warcraft. Are you guys interested in the movie? It's gonna be fully CG for sure because they're done filming.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, who are the actors attached to it? Like anyone known?
Remember that chick? It's only one person I know. Remember that chick from the latest Mission Impossible?
No.
Oh, the
Paula Platon.
that she's in the film.
I think so. Yeah.
We don't know anything about the story. It's probably not even going to take any of the main characters, right? Like Arthas or...
No Arthas yet, but
so
Uther's there.
It's probably
Uther's there.
Uther, like
the guy with the hammer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gul'dan will be there.
So this sounds like it's taking place during the first invasion.
It's the first Warcraft.
Yeah,
much.
so that makes a lot of sense.
Because when it comes to the movie, the only thing they announced is the official characters will be revealed in the movie. That's what they announced in BlizzCon. And aside from that, this movie will show up only in 2016. They're done with filming. It means all throughout 2015 is all just post-production. So it's going to be
a lot of CGI.
Yeah.
Well, apart from the movie, then we also have news about the Hearthstone second expansion.
I'm not too sure what the first one was. It's just like a.
It's just the base set, right? The base
Is
set
it really an
and
expansion?
Naxxramas,
Naxxramas, yeah.
right? And then now we have the new one.
Gnomes and Goblins.
Gnomes and Goblins. Yeah, there you go. Gnomes
That's
and
literally
goblins.
what it is.
Like there weren't enough gnomes or goblins in the cards already, but okay. So Gnomes and Goblins, the next expansion for Hearthstone. I'm still surprised at how well this game is doing, considering this was made like on the shoestring budget.
Was it a shoestring?
It was. It was like basically a bunch of them like had extra time on their hands and they put Hearthstone together.
What's that called? Gnomes and Goblins. Gnomes versus Goblins. Just to clarify.
Oh, there we go.
Just to Legos that. But yes, this is the new expansion. This expansion for Hearthstone is hitting next month in December, and that adds into the main game 120 new cards. And that's a lot of new cards. I'm not too sure how they're gonna do it. I mean, somewhat similar to Naxxramas. I'm not too sure, but.
Actually, just out of curiosity, do you know if the World of Warcraft, the actual World of Warcraft CCG is still like being made? Like, is it still
There was
There what?
the actual
a real
World of Warcraft,
Warcraft card
CCG?
game.
Yeah, there was.
I played that.
Yeah, is that still going or?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
I don't think
just
so at all.
Hearthstone
I
now.
think it's just that. Yeah, I think because a lot of the cards are very similar to the. Actually, they use that card for Hearthstone.
The art basically.
The
or
heart and sometimes the character
ability.
or the
Wow,
ability.
okay.
Yeah. Not all. But I remember playing Hearthstone. I forgot which one, but I was like, hey, that's actually from the TCG. So, but I played it. It was actually pretty fun. This is funner though. This is way better. It's fast paced. It's really
cheaper,
simple.
I
And
guess.
it's free if you spend the time with it. But yes, the expansion Gnomes versus Goblins. You essentially have a lot of gnome cards and goblin cards. But what's very specific about this expansion is it's very heavy on RNG. Random
number generation.
Random number generation. Because you'll have characters where, like for example, this is a card called Summon a Random 4-cost Minion. A random 4-cost minion. I'm like, okay, cool. Another one is Summon a Random 2-cost Minion. Okay, another random one. What else we have here? Deal 6 damage, randomly split between all other characters. It's all random. It's like you have no control over this ability when it happens. And I don't know if that will go well, but it's a lot. I see that everywhere in the new cards, especially the class-specific cards. Like there's a mage card that goes add a random minion to your hand. It costs 3 less. It's all random. You have no control over it. The only the good thing about it is you're getting 120 new cards into this whole
That'll make
Hearthstone.
balancing different for sure.
Yeah, but I think it's about time. Even though Naxxramas just came out this year, it's like
No, but that's about on par. Like most CCGs will have 2 to 3 expansions in a year, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So for me, that sounds about normal.
But it's in BlizzCon. They actually had 2 decks for people to play around with the new cards. So they were able to try it out. It's actually pretty surprising. It's already out. It'll be out in December, and I might check it out. It's only free anyway, and see how it goes. But for those who are still playing Hearthstone, you have new cards to dabble with, and it's gonna be pretty awesome. The next big one, well, in Diablo. There's not much going in the Diablo side in BlizzCon. It's just an added patch.
A lot of balancing, I guess, still. And
A patch is coming up, and for those who are playing still Diablo on the PC, Season 2 will start soon. Season 2, like the Seasons feature in Diablo 3. And Seasons is pretty much you start with a whole new character. There's a character specific for that one season.
For that season.
Yeah, and once the season ends, that character will become a normal character, and all his items and gold will be transferred to your overall account. Once Season 2 starts, everybody who joins Season 2 will have a fresh new character and they have to do through the whole thing again. Some people like that, believe it or not. I am part of that. It's the reason why I play Destiny over and over. But Season 2 though, like the reason why people play Season 2 is because each season...
There's Season 2 specific loot, right?
Yeah, there's legendary specific loot for each season. So Season 1 will end, so the Season 1 specific legendary loot will become normal loot when it ends. And then Season 2 will have a whole batch of new loot for those to gather and loot. And so that's Diablo. There's no new expansion. Don't freak out. There's nothing that's like there's no expansion 2 that was announced. That'll be pretty awesome though, but nothing in Diablo's side. StarCraft has been covered. World of Warcraft, well, we know, Draenor is coming, but it's very what's that right now. I think it's very overshadowed by Overwatch and I guess the Hearthstone finals because it's the first time Blizzcon will be hosting a Hearthstone official World Championship for Hearthstone, and just like any other Blizzard game, competitively, it's surrounded by Koreans. So I saw a live stream with just Koreans fighting Koreans over and over again, with a little bit of Europeans every now and then. My cousin's there right now. He's checking it out. I think he watched some of the footage for the Warcraft movie, and he's gonna check out the new game that they just announced. But that's BlizzCon. All right. Okay. Moving on. I want to visit a Blizz. I want to check out a BlizzCon once in my life. I think
I'd rather go to E3 first.
that's one of my goals. But BlizzCon, it's
Just to see.
I don't know. There's a lot of like. It's not that hard to get into. I mean, you just have to buy a ticket compared to like E3.
But they tend to sell out pretty fast.
It's not pretty fast, but if my cousin get it when he can, I think I can, and you get all access to all those Blizzard games.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Why not? Like you can play Hearthstone. I just want to experience it once. The big topic we'll be talking about now for this episode of the podcast is DLC,
Downloadable content.
DLC,
aka downloadable content.
the good, the bad, the EA,
The in-betweens.
The scummy.
The in-betweens.
and the in-betweens.
And yeah, downloadable content is pretty much those content that comes after or before. I don't even know how to explain download. It's pretty much
It's supposed to
It's
be
extra-
after.
it's
Extra.
extra content.
Quote unquote extra content
Content that does not come with the main game.
that you have to buy separately that should enhance the game your experience.
Yeah, quote unquote enhance. Be it a shirt, a quest, or a whole new
Or
character.
a whole new map. It could
If it's
be-
not part of the disc, or if it is not, I don't know.
if it's not on the disc and it doesn't come in a free patch, it's
If it doesn't come with a code.
Yeah.
When it comes out of a code, then it'll have. Because I don't know. I'm gonna double check right now, but I don't know when it officially. Do you guys have a clear idea on when this officially started?
it's DLC.
I don't remember
had
my
its-
first time experiencing it was just there when
Well,
I
DLC
hit.
sort of had its roots first in expansion packs, right? Like
Well, expansion packs are
Then in
is
old
the
days,
precursor of downloadable content.
exactly, that's what I'm saying. So, I think it was at some point, maybe in either the late '90s or the early 2000s, when the term DLC became more and more in use rather than expansion pack
Yeah.
or expansion content.
It definitely started with the last gen of consoles.
Because it was a way, I guess. I think once Xbox Live became a big thing, Xbox Live on the first Xbox, and specifically with Halo, when they began releasing new maps I think for me that was my first recollection of when the term DLC started getting used, and the idea of paying like an extra $5 or $3 for extra content sort of became a thing, rather than buying a full-on expansion pack for like $30 or whatever. And
I'll have
getting
to stop you there because I'm just confirming this. But the first ever console, so we know personal computer expansion packs and all that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to consoles, the first ever to implement online DLC was the Dreamcast.
Oh man!
Really?
Oh man!
Because in the PlayStation 2 era, they're just implementing a network adapter for it because they didn't have a network adapter.
Yeah.
What kind of DLC was it?
I don't know the specific, but Dreamcast had that. They were the first one to have that kind of support for games,
Okay,
and
that's cool, but
that was weird.
But I don't think that. I think that was not even supporting it and making it popular are two different things. I think.
Yeah, but the first use of that word DLC, I think came from the Dreamcast. If someone can confirm that info,
I
then
think
go
that's
ahead.
when like they would have digital games you could download and then play on the Dreamcast. that it was in one of the Did You Know Gaming episodes, I believe,
But I
on
think,
YouTube.
but I think you're right. Though Xbox was the first one for like a specific game, a specific famous game, because Halo 2 had DLC already.
Halo 1 even had, I think, DLC.
Oh,
didn't it?
DLC.
I,
Okay.
I think, I'm not
The
100%
first Splinter Cell,
sure.
I think, had DLC.
Yeah. And then it sort of transitioned from there where instead of taking another, developing a full-on expansion pack and selling it for $30 retail, they'd sell you content from the same expansion but in a piecemeal format. And then sometimes they would still sell you the full expansion, but just through digital. And yeah.
Okay, the first I did mention the first one to use DLC, but the actual precursor. Well, I think they don't really say it, but I think the precursor is expansions. But the official precursors for DLC is said to be like the earliest form of downloadable content was from the Atari's 2600
Oh, well,
Game Night
geez,
service.
Come on, man. Like, I mean,
All but that's where like DLC went all the way down to that point, but no one really noticed. But they didn't. But that's how far off DLC has been there for
right.
That's,
Okay,
that's pretty interesting. But there, in DLCs, Xbox had it. PS2 kind of didn't have it as much, and then the marketplace for
Then,
Xbox
yeah.
360, PSN shows up, trophies show up. Oh, trophies.
Trophy showed up, yeah, and it became. I think the DLC game really started with Xbox Live and
Yeah.
PlayStation Network. Really a product of
Became
the,
an actual buzzword.
I think really a product of the 360 and PS3 era.
Mhm.
Just starting with the PS2, Xbox, Dreamcast era, and then really coming into its own in the last generation. And I mean, we've seen it. The practices surrounding DLC though have been all over the map. Really.
Before we hit the further on consoles, when it comes to PC, yes, they do expansions, right?
Yep.
What about mods?
Well, mods are
Or
free.
mods are free, but they're still downloadable content.
But they're
in a
not
sense.
official.
When we say DLC, you're really referring to official DLC that is
there.
accredited by the maker of the
Publisher.
game or the publisher. But like mods, because we don't even today, like when you download a mod, you don't call it DLC, you call it a
We
mod.
call it the mod.
Yeah.
Because it's unofficial.
It modifies.
It modifies the official
Official
game.
game.
And
Yeah.
you don't, normally, I don't know any mod where you have to pay for it. Even like, but we have seen things where mods sort of become such a big thing and on their own that they kind of become like DLC, like Daisy, for example,
Oh yeah.
Arma 2.
Is that
mod.
well?
Oh, Dota was a mod.
Well, Daisy
Or-
could be
or
Dota was officially definitely a mod, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not DLC. They're
Not
just,
DLC,
They're not
no.
DLC at all. They're just. It just clicked really big to the point that there's Dota 2. There's Daisy downloads.
Yep.
Okay, so DLC. We've had these up and lows, and since it officially, was being implemented in these big game publishers. I think the most common ones and the earliest ones were like, I guess, I'm not sure, is it map packs or then
Yeah,
costumes?
map packs mainly for like the multiplayer games.
It was like Halo 2 had
Again,
it.
yeah, Halo was sort of what got the ball rolling. So
Yeah.
I think it was natural for that to follow. I think we saw that also with the earlier Call of Duty games and pretty much the older Call of Duty games as far as I can recall. Other shooters as well, but nothing that comes to the top of mind.
And it's when it first was introduced up to this point, we've had so many forms of this deals of downloadable content already, through the years. I think the most common one at this point, well, for me, it just seems like it's just the pre-orders ones. Like if you buy something ahead of time, you will get quote unquote
a bonus.
A bonus
bonus.
DLC,
Yeah.
sponsored by Mountain Dew or whatever. Which I'm okay with, honestly. But I feel the DLC in question needs to be a cosmetic thing. It can't be like such a huge thing that you would
break the game.
that would not break the game, but
There's never I've never experienced a single pre-order game that was like not was essential to get.
well,
So far.
the example I'd like to give that I think was a good pre-order DLC was the Batman Arkham City costumes. Because they were just costumes. They didn't really add
For Injustice?
No, for Arkham City.
Okay.
Do you guys remember that? Like,
Yeah.
if you pre-ordered Arkham City,
You get the Asylum costumes.
and because there were they eventually released these costumes later. So even if you didn't pre-order it, you could still get it. But basically, for each of their exclusive retailers, like GameStop, EB Games, and Amazon, they each got like a specific
Set of costumes.
pre-order costume set. Yeah. So I think for me that sort of thing is okay because a costume doesn't add for me.
Yeah.
Doesn't particularly add value to the game or the gameplay experience.
It's just a good
Preference.
It's just a visual thing, right?
and it's a good perfect of saying up. It's a bonus for thank you
really,
for
it really feels like a bonus. That's what the DLC should be. But when you get stuff like when they're offering you like
A weapon set or
early access to like Call of Duty does this, I think, or Battlefield, like they'll give you early access to weapons that
to a gun
people will need to
that shoots people.
Yeah, or even like some more like story based DLCs. Like I hate it when like I can't think of a specific example, but like I know like order this from I think Assassin's Creed is very guilty of this. Order this game from GameStop and we'll throw in this exclusive mission that you could or exclusive map. That I don't like because that's content that I could play through.
That's content that gets only exclusive to people who actually opt for that offer.
Yeah.
Or is like even worse for those who have a specific console. You know,
Console specific. Yeah. Well, that can work and that cannot work. Like I think Soul Calibur sort of did an okay job with it with the remember they did.
Well, that makes sense. I mean,
but even Soul Calibur 2, remember they had Link, Spawn.
Oh yeah, they had unique characters per
and
system.
Heihachi, yeah.
But then those were free because they were in the game.
yeah, they were free, and it wasn't really like saying that up you're lacking out. It's like everyone has a bonus.
It's just
character.
an extra.
Yeah, just
like a
an
guest
extra.
character.
So what do you think when you think Soul Calibur 4 when they had
Darth Vader,
and
Yoda.
Yeah.
which they later released anyways as DLC. That's different for you guys.
Oh, I think that's like a better way to go. Like
Yeah.
Or how the Revengeance one did it. I mean not Revengeance, the
Ground Zero.
Ground Zeroes one where
Sort of timed exclusive.
the exclusive missions were actually timed exclusives and were
That's
given out.
a whole different
free.
deal. Like with Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, you get an exclusive mission, I guess, per
platform,
per
console.
platform, and then later on it becomes free. I mean, doesn't that destroy the whole like I was a special person for pre-ordering thing? But I guess it's been like a couple of
No,
months.
that wasn't a pre-order. It was just a console exclusive.
So why can't it just be part of the thing? In the first place.
Well, that's the scummy thing, okay, about the Darth Vader
if that's
DLC.
the case, if that's the
Was
case.
the Darth Vader DLC was literally a couple kilobytes big, which meant to say that Darth Vader was already in the game.
In the game.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't have to die. And that brings up the whole question: should you be
This is
paying
so powerful, yeah.
Should you be paying for content that is already on the disc that you have purchased? You know, the idea that you should have access to everything that's on the disc when you purchase it.
Because my initial thought is a full game meaning what's in the initial file size or the initial shipment, which is the CD. Or like now, since we download games in the bulk, whatever comes out in the original copy of the game, or original file.
But sometimes you have.
If it's already there and it's locked up, and it's only unlocked once you actually pay for more content, that's the gray line there. That's where like
that's there. It gets kind of. But the other thing that bothers me is when a developer will take a complete game and then chop off a bit and sell that as DLC. And I think the perfect example I can give for this is Mass Effect 3.
yeah.
When they chopped off the From Ashes DLC.
But this is not a pre-order. This is actually the thing. I don't think it's. I'm not too
Oh,
sure
we're
it's a
still on
pre-order.
pre-orders. Are we still on pre-orders?
No, I think we're still on pre-orders.
Oh, okay,
But I
okay.
think was that a pre-order game?
No. But okay, remind me to get back to that when we get to that
Okay.
point in the discussion, because I think that really kills it for me. That really bothered me when that happened.
No, but my last thing. No, we can go to day one. That's technically day one.
Day one DLC.
But to close off like that section, like pre-order DLC.
Or actually, another thing that's sort of related to it is like collector's edition DLC or.
Yeah, like only like very high. Like people who want to spend an extra buck will get this very cool looking DLC. I mean, well, it's still a bonus, but if you get a free quest for it or a free mission,
And there are a lot of those collector's edition sort of things. To be fair, like I know Assassin's Creed does that. Ubisoft in general, man. Like Watch Dogs had so much. For one, Watch Dogs had so many fucking collector's editions. It was hard to keep track of.
Ubisoft is a
Because they
whole
also
different
had
beast.
console exclusive missions. bro.
Ubisoft is a whole different beast because they have downloadable content for Uplay players only.
Yeah.
Like if you get that Uplay achievements and you use those points to unlock specific skins
content,
or so stupid.
They have DLC all over the place, basically.
Yeah. When it comes to pre-orders, though, is there anything that comes to the mind that's like very worthwhile? Once you've pre-ordered, like, oh, cool, I got this. I mean, like,
For me, the value for pre-ordering is not so much in the DLC, unless the DLC is very content heavy.
yeah,
And in which case, I would already feel that's
already a bad thing.
That's already a bad thing.
Yeah.
A pre-order, for me, the value comes with, first of all, do I really want this game or not?
Mm-hmm.
And if there is any bonus, I'd rather they be like, for example, a first edition like box, or maybe throw in like a little, not a figurine. I have so many of them already, but like a little like a booklet or like small art book. Or,
those are cool swag. I mean,
yeah,
cool
little
bonus things,
swag things. I'm okay with. I like that sort of stuff.
because I haven't experienced a single pre-order DLC that is actually worthwhile at all. I mean, like a big incentive for me to buy it.
Aside from a physical reward, maybe.
Yeah, aside from a physical reward. Because right now, if ever I have to pre-order, it's because I want to secure a copy. That's all. It's not because, oh my god, this is a fucking awesome DLC.
No. Ultimately, you pre-order because you want the game.
You want the game, and
Yeah.
you're just like, hey, this is a nice free
But
thing.
they
that
still
came with
dump
it.
in that extra shirt or that extra sword for your game.
Or like they try to force you to pre-order.
Hopefully,
or
like
something.
increasing the value of your pre-order. I don't know. Like, you see that a lot nowadays. And I don't know about
The
you
term
guys. Who are-
bonus is
yeah, I
not-
don't know about you guys who are listening in here right now, but I haven't experienced a single pre-order DLC that actually helped the decision to actually pre-order a game.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. You haven't experienced anything with pre-orders?
No, when I pre-order a game, it's the same thing. I
Just
just,
for
want
the
the
retail,
game.
you just
Yeah.
want the game,
Then,
yeah.
like, if it happens to have anything free, like, hey, cool.
Hey, I got a
Well,
mark.
If it's like, if you pre-order, you get the steel book, and like, I'm down for that. But as for digital content,
Yeah, there's nothing.
I don't like.
I don't get it either.
Like,
Yeah.
I guess
What
The-
changes it for me though is collector's editions. For example, the first Dragon Age collector's edition
Okay.
came already with the Stone Prisoner.
That's the okay.
That wasn't a pre-order. This is the collector's edition.
Yeah.
So it comes with the Stone Prisoner, which was the extra character Shale. It came with the Warden's Keep,
Yeah.
and it came with
Daggers. I remember it came with a game with the weapons and shit.
Really, it came with daggers.
I remember it came with weapons and a sword, and there was specific weapons that came with the
Oh, the
pack.
Mass Effect armor. Is that what you're
No,
talking about?
Dragon Age had it too. I don't know. It was that weird time where you get the specific weapon, and it was, I guess, kind of unique, but lasted a couple of hours.
You know, that brings up another thing is cross-game DLC. EA, again, is the biggest culprit. But we'll get to that in a bit.
No, but what you were mentioning actually, like, it's a good transition because we're next up, like, that's pre-orders. Next up is pretty much day one DLC, and I think the one you're describing for Dragon Age Origins is actually day one, because I also picked up the day one for Dragon Age, and I got that as DLC.
Oh, did you? It wasn't in the collector's edition?
I think mine was a limited edition, to be honest. I'm not too sure. Like, I don't know. 'Cause
we
EA
get different
games-
things here because we're in Asia.
Yeah.
I don't know, because EA games, when it comes out here, it's actually a limited edition. I don't know if the standard edition
Well,
has
okay.
Shale.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Shale, a specific quest line,
that was DLC
That was not-
specific on the first on day one. You can actually buy it, right?
And actually, but Shield was such a. I thought she had such a strong part in the game that she really felt like she was kind of chopped off
Yeah.
and sold separately. Like she was, the game was designed with her there, and then some big shot at EA said, "No, just get rid of this person and make her DLC." You know. Well, the better example again is Mass Effect 3, where they removed the what's his name? I forgot his name. The alien. They're all aliens.
Spoiler alert:
The Prothean.
the last living Prothean.
Yeah. Javik.
Javik. And
And that guy is like, I can't imagine playing the game without him there.
no, yeah,
Because he is, his commentary and his role in that whole Mass Effect 3 storyline is so important.
it gives you so much information about the Prothean.
Exactly.
In that sense.
And to think that
and the lore of
he was
the game.
optional DLC? Really?
I remember when I was picking up when I was like dead set to buy Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
And then when I heard the news about the day one because they were calling it day one DLC.
Yeah.
Right? And then I was saying, if you buy this day one DLC, you'll get to have a new character, a new squad member, the last living Prothean. And I'm like, what?
That's too important not to get.
For those who know Mass Effect lore, no, that's so important. Like, I have to spend an additional $10 because I need this.
You need it,
And
right?
I'm at the time before the red, green, and blue ending and everything, I really wanted to play Mass Effect 3 on its full extent, on its
Yeah.
full capacity. So I had to buy that. So when I bought Mass Effect 3, I had an extra $10 PSN card ready just to get
The From Ashes.
yeah, and that was like I think a gig download still. So when I got the game, I got the card, I loaded it up. I had to wait another additional hour just so that I didn't want to touch the game yet. I wanted it all set up. I got everything I needed. And it was so important. And that's one of the baddest things because it's supposed to be part of the game, but they just
Yeah,
cut it out
they
just
just
for
cut
an
it out to
additional
sell it,
$10 for
exactly.
you guys to spend.
Exactly.
So I spent like $2.4 for the game, and I pretty much spent like $2.9, almost close to $3,000 because of the added DLC.
That's
Because of day one.
Day one DLC, right? I'm not a
Hurts,
fan of.
but it
I'm not a fan of.
It's needed.
I'm not a fan of day one DLC too much. I mean,
We don't see it nowadays though.
they still do. I mean, not as much as before.
No,
Dragon Age Inquisition is going to have day one DLC. Absolutely.
Oh, will they?
Absolutely, will have it.
Because EA.
And you're even getting a pre-order, not pre-order bonuses, but I'm sorry to bring the discussion back somewhat, but if I say not pre-order bonuses, but like how do you say it? Like real product bonuses,
Yeah.
where you would buy something and get DLC for it. I know Mountain Dew and Doritos have had this going on.
Mentioning the
Those two are the
Yeah.
biggest culprits, though. For Gears of War and I think Halo,
Yeah.
you buy this brand of Doritos or this Mountain Dew,
and you get a
gonna
head.
get-
You get a
it's gonna
helmet.
and you get something
a code in it.
Yeah, or like the shaving. Yeah, I wanted
God.
to bring this up because I saw recently an ad for Dragon Age Inquisition DLC if you buy Edge shaving cream products.
You get a sword for Assassin's Creed Unity.
My goodness, Edge shaving cream, and I think there is even The Sims.
Is that pre-order DLC?
No,
it's not
it's not. But The Sims also had it. You buy Crest toothpaste, you get something in The Sims. I was like, wow, like this really?
They get a chunk out of that. If someone buys
I'm
that,
sure they do. I'm sure
if
they
EA,
do.
if EA,
And I think even Blizzard is guilty of it. Like they had the World of Warcraft Mountain Dews for a while, right?
yeah,
And didn't that have like a code for an in-game pet or something?
if you buy this mountain, then you get some subscription time or something like that.
It should have been at least Mountain Dew themed cosmetics, if anything.
My God.
But I think going back, I think when it comes to day one DLC, I think EA is the biggest culprit. I don't remember any game that has something similar that heavy in terms of downloadable content. Because like for example, Mass Effect 3 is the biggest one. I don't think I can play that game without variant.
Exactly. Without Javik.
Or Shavik, sorry.
It would be weird. Mass Effect 2, it had that
It had that mercenary.
Zaid, right? But he
I didn't need him.
I never used him
I never
either.
used him. Yeah, I got him. I think he was also
even the other character that was released later, Kasumi. She seemed kind of,
She was actually pretty cool.
but I never used her either.
But if you get her, this is the thing. This is the weird thing when it comes to Mass Effect 3. If you get Kasumi in Mass Effect 2, and you import the character to Mass Effect 3,
Right. She's there.
she's gonna be there.
Zaid as well.
Yeah, but it just feels like you're missing out because if you didn't get that download, then you don't get to see the
You won't
conclusion.
see who she is, right?
Yeah.
Actually, Dragon Age 2 also had a character, an extra character.
Sebastian.
Sebastian, the archer.
But here's another thing. This is all EA, seriously. This is all EA. Okay, so Dragon Age 2, they had a downloadable content, Sebastian.
Right.
Had a new, just like Shale and all that. But if you look closely at Dragon Age 2, he's the only archer.
Yeah. That's true. He's the only race.
If your character does not play as an archer, all those archer skills, all those bows that
that
you
goes
pick
to
up,
him.
does not.
And Varric. Varric is technically...
He's a crossbow.
That's true, but...
You can't use a bow.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So imagine that if you don't have, if you don't play as a swords, if you don't play as an archer,
and you
all
don't have
that stuff,
Sebastian,
yeah,
that's
all that
always
stuff
the-
for archers are gone. It's stupid, and he's a DLC. And I remember reading an article that BioWare was saying that we did not want that to happen. We didn't expect that to happen. Like technically, all that assets that we've developed can't be used because they didn't pick up Sebastian because
Yeah.
he was a DLC character. So with Dragon Age Inquisition, they've already announced that there won't be any character DLCs. There will be DLCs, but not to that extent where
That's fine. You know, because especially in BioWare RPGs, the characters are really a big part of what makes the overall story work. Your relationship with them, right? I'm okay with adding new storyline content,
but cutting out a portion of
yeah,
it.
for me, one of the best DLCs BioWare has put out was the Shadow Broker DLC from Mass Effect 2. When you teamed up with Liara again that was very well done and didn't that really felt like an extra thing. It didn't feel like I was missing out on anything.
It was a good addition to
other thing I want to bring up again. I'm sorry, it's EA. A lot of EA. It seems to me EA is very responsible for a lot of these scummy.
Yeah, because
DLC
the other
practices.
publishers and the other they just have basic stuff like cosmetic, like additional armor,
Well,
additional
Capcom.
stuff.
I guess Capcom is also kind of scummy because
What does Capcom do?
they lock characters on the disc.
Oh well, yeah, okay.
But
Well,
anyways,
that was just the one case so far.
Street Fighter X
Cross
Tekken.
Tekken, yeah.
What about the Jill and Shumagora thing? In
Jill was
were not-
unfinished. She had missing audio files, and Shuma was only half done in the vanilla Marvel disc.
Oh, really? Okay.
Should
But
we
I
go
wanna-
through that? Because that's technically, is that really downloadable content or just
Again,
content?
it's unlocking content already on disc, which is kind of which bothers me.
In the Cross Tekken one, the characters were already
Because for
complete.
me, that implies that the developer was already making that content,
Yeah.
and it was ready to go, or at least somewhat ready to go. And then they released the game with unfinished product, or product specifically designed not to be, to be sold as DLC. So it's product designed from from the beginning to be sold. It's not. Wasn't designed as part of the whole.
Yeah.
Or rather, sorry, I'm confusing. It was designed as part of the whole and removed to be sold.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm getting less for my money. But what I wanted to bring up also is cross-game DLC. For example, again, Mass Effect armor in Dragon Age. Dead Space armor in Dragon Age.
That's just
Mass
EA.
Effect armor in Final Fantasy 13 too.
Yeah, Mass Effect. Really?
Oh, yeah. What did Square off butt heads with EA? What did that happen?
Mass Effect armor in Kingdom of Amalur. I mean, that was
And nobody bought that though.
yeah, but nobody bought that. But it was okay. It was actually a good game.
Yeah, what was that for? No one would. Yeah, we get that cool, but no one would care about that. EA did that. I remember that. I got Kings of Amalur. I had cool. I get the N for armor,
But why?
but I don't use it. It's just there.
It's just there.
It's
yeah.
just there.
It just looked cool.
You
I
like
have
Mass
armors
Effect
from
so
High
much.
Fantasy. I'm not gonna use it for my Mass Effect. It's just weird.
Even there was Dragon Age armor in Mass Effect with the dragon.
But I think it's okay though because it doesn't really hurt. Like
I guess if you do it too much, though. But it stops being cute.
But it doesn't stop being cute. That's the only thing that happens. So it doesn't really.
I suppose,
affect.
yeah, it doesn't really add anything to it.
It's just
But
EA being
what
cute.
what do you think also about like how like they sort of like they'll go to a website and say like, hey, we have this like DLC. It's going to be like a rig with really crappy stats, but we're going to give it to you exclusively to give out to your readerships. You know what I mean?
Wait, who does that? Kotaku? No.
EA.
Okay, yeah.
They did that. They did that with Dragon Age and wow. I don't know why I keep bringing those two games.
Well,
up.
they were
BioWare.
during the time when Dragon Age came out, EA was promoting that.
doing
They were nuts
all of
with
them.
DLC on Dragon Age. I
Yeah.
mean, they had a splash. They had a when you go to Dragon Age Origin, they actually had a downloadable content section where they show the list of things that you can buy. Like they were very heavy on downloadable content. And
Do you feel though that a lot of this is just overpriced? Like, do you feel like a lot of it is horse armor-ish, you know, in that sense?
Okay. When it comes to pricing and DLC, I don't think I've ever paid for cosmetic stuff
Right.
on a console game because I don't think $1.99 for a beard or $1 for a shirt would make any difference for me. The only time I think I buy download content is an actual extension, like character and a character
Right.
line.
Or like a
Well, I mean, this is a good example. We just bought a few minutes ago, a new character for Persona 4.
But that's free, right?
No, we bought
No.
it. But the thing is, there's also you could buy also a ton of colors and costume stuff, which I probably won't do.
Yeah.
But buying, a character is a character. It adds to the overall game.
to a fighting game,
Yeah.
yeah. But how did you pay for the color?
No.
No,
The color-
they came with
the color
the glasses
comes-
and the colors come with that character.
Miggy, do you know the price tag for the costume set for, like, for example, Street Fighter or I don't know, Marvel?
Oh, the costume. Yeah.
No, I haven't bought any of the cost. The Marvel one I waited for it to go on sale.
No,
I
do
think
you
it was
have an idea?
$10.
For like 3 costumes per
No,
character? Or a
no, I
set
think it
of-
was $20 for all of the costumes. One costume per character. Then the DLC characters were $5 each.
We can price that as overpriced, but I guess that's whoever wants to be that like cosmetics with their game. If they want to flash it out, because it doesn't really greatly affect. I don't know. It's very hard to.
No, $20 shrimp is definitely overpriced.
It's definitely overpriced.
For us, but there are people who are buying it. So
That's always the problem. If someone's buying it, then they will always do it. They will always be okay with it. Like, but cosmetics, it's not really affecting the gameplay. What about, for example, competitive multiplayer games?
oh, like in Dota, for example,
No,
No.
like in Call of Duty, for example.
Yeah, in Tekken Tag
Or, okay,
Tournament 2, if you pre-order the game, you would get the first wave of, like, I think 8 DLC characters. I think for the first 2 months or 3 months.
Okay.
And like, if you didn't pre-order the game, you wouldn't get those characters for that long of a time, which I guess if you play competitively wouldn't be that fair.
True.
But then again, all those DLCs were given out free once the time limit ran out.
Because if you go back to competitive games like Call of Duty, if you price it at $15 for 5 maps, and then you're separating your fan base to the ones that have DLC,
the money.
to the ones that
Battlefield
don't.
did, no.
Or
Actually,
Battlefield.
Stupid thing.
Battlefield is worse
the premium.
because they give out premium, and then so essentially.
Because that's the one reason why I never buy map packs ever. Because if you buy a map pack, that means you're playing with the people who actually buy map packs.
Yeah,
Right.
and the people who don't can't.
Can't. That's the reason why, and I think that's really it's overpriced and it's dividing the community.
Battlefield did that the worst because remember they
The premium thing, yeah.
they essentially released the game 3 times. The regular one, then the stuff that came with the limited editions,
Yeah.
and then
And
premium.
premium.
And each time they would come out at $60 because you have to buy the full game again. $60 with or without the disc.
Wait, how does premium work exactly?
So premium is essentially you buy the game and then you buy premium.
This is
No,
Battlefield
if
premium.
you buy the regular game, you need to pay another $60 for premium.
Okay.
right, and then
But if you buy
gets
premium on disc, it's $60.
altogether.
So parang if you bought it before, lugi ka.
But how premium works is essentially you basically get it's like a season pass.
Yeah.
You get
Everything that comes out after
every expansion that comes out because Battlefield has a set number of expansions that come out after it, like in EA's Grandmaster Plan, to make it a yearly thing, right? So you buy premium and then you get access to all 4 or 5 expansions as they are released.
Yeah.
I think you'll even get early access to them.
Yeah.
And you'll
like
get
a week early.
You will get special premium like guns and accessories and skins. And
You get like one extra handgun.
yeah, an extra or yeah,
That's very similar to the rest.
right. But I do agree with you that in the sense that especially in multiplayer shooters, you'll rarely find people playing expansion maps or unless they are given for free, you know. You'll rarely find people playing it, and that's why I can appreciate a game like Team Fortress, which is completely free.
Everything is free.
And every map is free.
Yep.
Because that means I get to play a huge variety of maps, because everyone else is playing a huge variety of maps. It's not just like the same maps that were released at the beginning, and then nobody bothered buying the rest. The Call of Duty, like I'm actually always puzzled because they always say zombie mode and like is like one of the more popular modes for them.
Yeah.
And then they release extra zombie maps, but how many people actually play the extra zombie maps, or you know?
And zombie mode isn't even in every game.
Titanfall, for example, there's still their latest DLC. I think I'm not sure if it's out or it's coming out. If you play the PC version, you can see the number of people are playing per
DLC.
mode per DLC. There's no one playing any DLC maps in the Titanfall.
Yeah.
So like, that's the reason why I'm kind of like iffy about these map packs or these DLC, because it's all based on if there's actually a base
For it.
or
And if there
a
is
population.
if there is a base, normally they'll only play for like the first few months.
That's the only reason why I think map packs are very overpriced. $15.
Yeah.
That $15 only justifies if you have a strong community.
Right.
So
I remember buying. This is an old game. I bought the expansion before Battlefield became like a yearly thing. They had Battlefield 2142, which was the
futuristic,
version.
yeah.
And they had a expansion called Northern Strike, which was very cheap. I don't remember how much it was, but about $15 maybe. So I bought that, and I was able to play it, you know, for a while. And then there was a period of time where I stopped playing. And you know, every Battlefield game has an unlock system, right? For you get so many kills, you unlock.
You get a gun.
Yeah, right.
You get a gun.
But what I found out is when I came back to the game and I wanted to play Northern Strike maps, no one was playing them anymore. So that meant all the stuff that I could have unlocked in Northern Strike, I could no longer get because no one was playing it. So boogie, like that was just sad, I guess.
That's why I was always bothered by map packs, because if you ask me what kind of value a map pack should be, it should be $5. Because it's solely based on community. If there's no one playing, you just wasted $15. Essentially, Call of Duty, there will be people playing it in Call of Duty, but in other games, it can't be $15. It just can't be. If it's a co-op map or a co-op mode, yes, because you can ask friends, hey, you want to play with me, you know, this game with me? That will work. But if a game is all about matchmaking, playing with random people, that won't work at all. Moving on, what about season passes? We were talking about essentially that,
but yeah,
going on it deeply in it, like season passes for like not only Battlefield, but for
it's a gamble, you know.
but for any other game, because now all games have like season pass. Even freaking Dark Souls 2 has a season pass.
It's a gamble though, because you can't deter. You don't know what the quality of the DLC will be.
Yeah, because season pass means you have access to like the first 3 DLC packs.
3 or 4 DLC packs, right?
Yeah, or something like that. But you don't know what it is.
Exactly. Well, I can see season passes work for some games. I think they work for fighting games.
Injustice did that.
Injustice
for
did
the
it.
first set of DLC
Injustice
characters.
did it. Mortal Kombat sort of did it.
Was it worthwhile? I didn't.
Killer Instinct is doing it now.
Okay.
And basically for them, when they say a season, it means a slew of like 4 to 5 DLC characters.
Yeah.
Or in Killer Instinct, all of them.
Oh, it's all of them. Basically.
But in general, that's what season pass is about. Like
for fighting games, right?
Yeah.
But when you talk about, say, the season pass for Titanfall, okay, so for shooters, obviously, we know that's going to be maps and whatever. And I think that's the gamble there, because you don't know the quality of these maps. You don't know, again, like as you mentioned, we don't know how many people are going to be playing these. then you have stuff like the season pass for Watch Dogs, the season pass for
I forgot.
Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which, they're off
Season pass for Dead Space 3, season pass
for Assassin's Creed. These are
season pass for Ninja. Like even in Uncharted, they had season pass. This is the biggest form of DLC right now. Like you get a gamble package.
right. I for me personally, for one, would not buy a season pass unless they make it very clear from the start what I will get out of it. Like if they told me, okay, we're going to make a DLC episodic Bury that Sea thing. And you'll get that, and then you'll get this multiplayer package, and then you'll also get a bunch of other crap. And I know what I'm getting, and I think it's worth it. Fine.
That's fine.
But more often than not, I've noticed they're very vague as to what you'll get. It's like, oh, our next.
Yeah, it's like to be announced always.
To be announced, or like, okay, here's the idea for the next set of maps. It'll be in the jungle. Okay, great. Tell me more before I give you my money.
I think the last season pass I bought was I was never keen with season pass.
Yeah.
And the last one I bought that I was super like, I got this game, I should get the season pass, was strangely enough LA Noire.
Did anyone have a season pass?
It had a season pass. You get the upcoming upcoming cases.
That's right. It did.
I got the season pass. That's the only one I think I bought along. I think the one before that was Red Dead Redemption.
Right.
But the LA Noire one was not that well worth it. It's just like maybe 3 new cases that added maybe 30 minutes of gameplay. I forgot how much I paid for that season pass, but I didn't know it would be just like up. It's not like a quest. Like up, it's a quest. I'm done after 15 minutes. Then like something like that.
But didn't you feel that in LA Noire the DLC also felt like they should have belonged to the big
Yes, very much so.
right? See?
It would have been
So
perfect.
that was LA Noire was that EA?
No, it's
it was
Rockstar.
Rockstar, yeah, it's there. Scummy.
I haven't bought that many season pass, so the only substantial one that I could say was Red Dead Redemption.
Which was the Undead Nightmare.
Because you get undead,
Which is a completely different story from the main game.
it's a whole different story, same map and all that, but it's a different scenario.
Yeah.
It's still John
And
Marston
zombies.
John Marsh and
with
zombies.
with zombies, and that was pretty cool. That was really cool. I have to say, they added extra maps, they added extra stuff for like the gambling, the poker stuff, and all that. That was okay. That was pretty cool. But it was really the Undead Nightmare parts or campaign that was pretty cool. And I think I remember that Season Pass didn't mention Undead Nightmare. So again, it's still a gamble.
Yeah.
And since then, I never bought a single Season Pass because, just like any other cautious person, you don't know what you're getting into. Might as well not pay for it yet.
It's like buying a drink that you don't know what's inside.
Sometimes you don't.
Yeah,
Sometimes
might be
that-
sour.
See, sometimes that's what you also get in collector's editions. Like they'll throw in the season pass, like saying without being specific as to what you get. They'll say like, buy our collector's edition, and you'll get the season pass for the DLC. And they won't tell you what the DLC
Yeah.
is. I think Assassin's Creed 4 did that. I remember, like they mentioned a few. Oh, you get Blackbeard's this and that, and like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. What is it?
I don't know. Destiny's also doing it. For those who bought those collectors, whatever edition, they get a season pass of expansion 1 and expansion 2. That's my other fear. Like I was saying last week that I don't $20 seems okay with me because I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. But that fear is still there. The fear of how many people will be still playing on December.
Right.
The 3 new maps for PvP. I'll be playing with the people that are only buying the expansions, stuff like that. That's the gamble I'll have to go with when it comes to December 9th. And again, it's just by population. If it's really famous, then there you go. Diba? What's a good price for added content?
I say 15 is parang good
Depends a
standard.
lot on what it is,
Like
man.
how do we gauge like a 3-hour content? I guess
10.
$10.
If it's like a full-on maybe stage or two,
Like just a 3-hour endeavor. Like it'll give you 3 hours for sure.
I'd say 10.
Well, I
would
think
be-
you know what DLC I like is the Borderlands stuff actually, like the
Oh, the Borderlands additional.
Borderlands extra content, like the zombie
Like
island.
$10
of Doctor.
per $10 per.
I forgot how much it was, but like I'm talking about like Zombie Island of Dr. Ned. There was General Knox's Armory.
Yeah.
Those were a couple hours worth of extra playtime. So
here's another thing though. Like, since good thing you mentioned Borderlands. Like, here's another bad thing about DLC. It actually also changes your buying choice. Like, there's a reason why I didn't buy Borderlands 2 on day one, because I knew how it was gonna go down thanks to what happened to Borderlands 1. They launched a slew amount of like DLC packs and like map contents and all that. So what I did not buy Borderlands 2. I waited for the Game of the Year edition. I got all of it right away.
that's what I did. Okay.
That's what a lot of, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you just bought the Game of the Year.
we have a lot of people who are just like, I'll just wait for the Game of the Year edition. Thanks to like them, like, we have a season pass, we have this many DLCs upcoming. You know, like, people will just not buy a game anymore because they know it's incomplete. They know that there's none. They are holding back some of the DLC, or they're making still DLC.
Borderlands is very.
That's a perfect example.
Actually, no, but Borderlands is very guilty of that because they tend to release a buttload of DLC.
Yeah, and I'm stupid enough to think that I would like to get all the content. But I've bought Borderlands 1 Game of the Year edition and Borderlands 2 Game of the Year
Yeah,
edition.
which really has both.
Yeah, I played a couple of them. I never finished all of them. Because it was a lot of content, but there was a lot of Borderlands to take in. That was like a lot of Borderlands. So it's just funny that also, like, these kinds of DLCs, these other actually contents, they actually force like some AAA titles to, like, if you hit a year, you're gonna see another package of it because they're gonna package in the DLC. They're gonna package in they're gonna call it the complete edition or the definitive edition or the Game of the Year edition or whatever edition, just for the sake of reselling a copy or a product. So that could be also a good thing for the for like product wise or business wise, because you can resell something thanks to DLC.
Yeah, and if you didn't buy the game beforehand,
Yeah, why
you have
not?
a
Right?
better
And
choice.
it's a cheaper price.
cheaper option. Yeah.
That's, I guess, the good side, but again, that's the bad side because that's a good incentive for them to hold back some content because they'd like to repack it later on.
I wish Asura's Wrath had a.
Yeah, they have that. Yeah.
Because the ending.
Oh,
you
that's
have to
another
buy.
thing that killed is when they released the ending as DLC. That I think.
Well, Mass Effect 3 is extended.
Well, no, they had to fix the ending.
They had to fix the
That was a
ending.
fixed ending.
But
Asura's
Asura's
Wrath,
Wrath, you need the last 3-4 episodes.
Yeah, it's DLC.
Were DLC.
Oh, it wasn't. You don't see the ending.
No,
You get
it,
you get a
it's
fake
really cut
ending.
off.
That's so.
Even
That's so scumbag. That's like
even-
the worst. You don't even see the ending of the game.
even if you remember the 2008, I think 2009 reboot of Prince of Persia, where
Prince of Persia 2008,
where you
the cell shaded one.
with the cell shaded one, the ending was also released as DLC.
What?
Yeah, it was called. Yeah, it was. Oh god,
The end.
it was called Epilogue, I think, right? Or I don't recall.
Ubisoft.
Yeah,
Ubisoft.
but again, that's also why? Don't do that, guys. Game companies don't ever release your ending as DLC.
You never.
Never.
Asked. That's still. I have never
Just
heard. I've never
expand,
experienced
but
that.
never end it as DLC.
Never cut out the ending.
Frick, Bethesda did that too in Fallout. Remember, like Fallout 3? Did you ever play Broken
Yeah.
Steel?
Oh no, the DLC pack?
Yeah.
No.
Because it's basically it's not over yet.
Oh Jesus
After
Christ.
you think it's over.
Oh god. Okay. Final thoughts. What is? Do you actually have any other DLC that you've bought that you thought was worth the money?
I bought
Like,
plenty of
no,
DLC
not
that I think is-
the cosmetic stuff, not the actual the.
For me, every time there's a DLC character on a fighting game, I think they're very worthwhile.
Okay. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, I think, for me, had the most interesting. They had Rain, Kenshi, Scarlet, and Freddy Krueger. I think all worth it. Injustice DLC characters,
definitely Injustice.
definitely worth it. As far as story content goes, I'd say. See, the thing is, BioWare. I want to say BioWare stuff again, but they're a mixed bag. Eh?
Yeah,
They have some really great DLC and some really terrible ones. Like the last Mass Effect 3 one, Citadel,
Yeah.
when you basically get your whole gang together for a nice party. That was great. That was amazing. Tally's drunk off her ass and everything, you know. And then you had stuff like Orion,
How does she
which
drink
was
through
kind
her
of like
mask?
She never did.
right.
Sadly, she never did.
What through her
Advisor, how does she drink
it's
this?
the induction port.
A space
Ooh,
straw.
I thought about that.
Her. Then what? Then what other DLC did I enjoy?
I can't on top of my head point out something that I've like thoroughly enjoyed. Like, oh my god, thank God I bought this DLC. I don't. Nothing comes into mind. That's why I've never liked DLCs at all. Like, when I get a pre-order DLC, or if I get like an added bonus, like you get free bonus gear or whatever for your start out, I never use it.
Yeah, because in like most cases, that would make the first parts of the game too easy until
Yeah,
the armor's up to
you've
speed.
experienced like those pre-order bonuses that are like would enhance your
It's another
experience.
EA thing.
Yeah.
Yep, EA every
I
day.
don't like even like those small things all the way to the big ones. I don't remember anything that would stand out. That would be worthwhile. Like I'm kind of tempted of buying Dark Souls 2's expansion, like
Yeah,
the
but at
added
least
ones.
in Dark Souls 2, it expands instead of... it's
It's
not
only-
like buying the ending.
It's only $5.
Oh,
Oh,
there's
$10.
three, diba?
There's
three
three,
endings.
yeah,
three
three-
DLCs because of the
There's
crowns.
three crowns basically.
Yeah,
But if you think about that, like the main story of Dark Souls 2 is you beat the main baddie of your kingdom, diba?
yeah,
And the DLC is for 3 different kingdoms.
yeah.
So that's you can live without that, diba? And like the balancing them of Dark Souls, you don't need these new weapons to
$10 for
get rid of
DLC.
that. No?
And yeah, but I don't think anything substantial. Like as much as they cut it up, I've never like.
What about like
Fully invested.
I would say even like say Ultra Street Fighter 4? Would you count that as DLC? Like
Oh, that's an expansion.
that's a full expansion already. Right?
Expansions is not DLC for me.
Yeah, it's different.
You know, another genre we haven't covered yet, but that is a very DLC heavy. I think we should mention music games.
Oh yeah, Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero, Rock
Have
Band.
spend $1 for music.
No, $2 per song.
$2 for
Yeah, but there you
One for trademark,
there
one
it's
for-
fine because you pick the songs you like,
Yeah.
right? You pick the songs you
And then
like.
they lose the license to those songs, so then they're gone forever. After
But no, as long as you have them on your Xbox or your PS4,
You own it.
You own it.
Yeah.
So,
But do you really?
but still, like there's I spent money in Rock Band, and I don't regret buying the songs I did because I like
Yeah,
the songs.
at least
I
you get to
bought.
pick them out.
I picked the songs that I enjoyed, that I like listening to.
Or like, I haven't bought a lot of DLC, but I'm planning to get the Phoenix Wright 5.1, the extra case,
Yeah.
just because I just want more Phoenix Wright.
That's the same with me with Eleanor. I just wanted more cases, but it was not worth it when I felt it. Like it felt like what Will said. It was like it had to be part of the game, but they
Yeah.
didn't.
Maybe it depends on the game itself and like how you like that game, I guess.
Yeah, because DLC it just asks you to be invested in the game. Because
As long as it's not forced on you, like you have like the ending nonsense or
yeah,
all
like
that.
if you want to know the ending of a game, you buy the
So
DLC.
bad.
Yeah, that's why Asura's Wrath was just what the hell.
Capcom, Capcom.
Damn you, Capcom.
we're never gonna see that again. That's a sad part.
Why?
Asura's
It's
Wrath.
never gonna come out in like a complete edition because that game did not do well.
Yeah.
So no one will never.
No, I mean as long as someone keeps a working Xbox or PS3 with the
It will
down.
die out eventually.
Eventually it will be gone, but
Hey, it's on YouTube now.
It's a, yeah, that's
it will
true.
live forever on the YouTubes.
On the interwebs.
But don't you want to mash that button to save the world?
Well, I guess that's it for DLC. Unless you guys want to mention something really quick.
I mean, I just want to, bring it out there that like the developers just need to be responsible with what they make as DLC and what they don't.
I think the developers do. It's just the publishers better shut the
publishers.
fuck up. Yeah.
And money, of course.
Yeah, money.
But I think if you're going to make a game specifically with, and then your publisher's going to say, "Oh, we're going to make a percentage of this as DLC," then you should go in it, develop your game, and then already start considering. Don't think of it as what content can we cut out as DLC, but think of what new content can we make as DLC.
That was probably obviously
That's how I think the mindset should be.
yeah, that was I'm sure the original intention, pero big business kicks in.
That's still not an excuse, man. Like,
Here's
yeah.
the one thing I also want to include. This is the reason why I kind of sparked this whole conversation about additional DLC. CD Projekt Red just recently announced that all their DLC, specifically their 16 free DLC that will be added into Witcher 3, will be free for anybody.
That's fantastic.
16 DLC.
But we don't know what those.
No,
that 16
they've already
DLC
said that
That's a lot.
there's gonna be a customizing pack where you can change. You can have added like beard for Gerald or
Okay.
sword or a shirt. That's one pack, and then the other pack will be added quests or whatnot. It's small things, but it's not something where you have to pay $2 to get a beard or a shirt for any. Or if you're a specific console or a specific person that when they bought it, like your pre-order purchase guy or nothing.
Yeah.
As long as you have the game.
Actually, now that I think about it, CD Projekt Witcher games, they've always released their stuff as free.
Yeah, always. But that's the reason why I'm mentioning it, because I think we've had every single medium of DLC except the one where we'll just give you it for free. And it looks like CD Projekt Red will be that kind of person, or will be that kind of trend, because it hasn't. The DLC hasn't gone for a full circle. We've gotten all the worst, the normal, and the great. I guess we're now
And
finally
now
seeing
here
it.
is something. Would you consider, say, Guild Wars 2 content that they keep adding as DLC?
Yeah,
You would. Well, there you go.
because unless they start buying. No, actually not anymore, because some of the story you have to pay now.
You only have to pay actually if you don't play them during the week that they're open.
Yeah, no, but that's still DLC. If
Yeah,
you think about it. Yeah.
It is. If you
Yes,
log
sorry.
in during the week that they're active,
Yeah, you
get
can
that
play
for-
You claim them.
You claim them forever, so you
Like
can replay
PS
them.
Plus.
Yeah. So
But
there-
yeah, but there. But that's very rare though. Like I don't. I guess in a business standpoint, that's kind of risky.
yeah.
But if you can pull off like maybe like, oh, we finished this part of the game. I don't. Is it now a bad thing or a good thing to get good like plus points in the community by we'll cover this, we'll cut this section of the game as DLC, but as free DLC, just to get good points, quote unquote.
Well, if it's an unfinished part of the game or unpolished and they want extra time, then it's free. So
Yeah. Because it's just like just getting good points. So I don't see any other reason why they wouldn't bother to put like up. If you want a new Geralt beard, you have to pay 99 cents for it or something. I don't see any. It's either they're just really kind or I don't really get it. And then when this announcement came, everybody in the community will start to backlash on Bungie.
Because they're
Destiny.
selling shit for Destiny.
No, yeah, and if you check out Destiny, you can go to those unfinished places.
And they're just charging you for it.
And then that might be the future DLC areas, stuff like that.
But then again, we don't know the full story because we're not there.
Yeah, see.
So
But I just wanted to mention that the whole Witcher 3 thing, you get 16 free DLC packs no matter what position you're in. Either you get a collector's edition, a standard edition, or limited edition. You're all going to get the DLCs.
Or whatever,
Time.
whatever platform you
Whatever
buy.
platform, whatever time, all at the same time. And that's pretty cool. And hopefully that's the trend we'll see instead of day one or season pass crap.
yeah, Nintendo started getting into
I
the
don't
whole.
think they would make DLC if they wouldn't make money from it. But I guess the CD Projekt's point of view is we'll make money off the sales of the game, and then from that will you know.
I remember I saw a quote from the company president. They were saying that we're giving these DLCs as more of a thank you because I'm sure it was hard enough for you to buy the full game in the first place. We're asking you guys to pay $60 for the game.
That's
So
true.
and then they were saying like we're giving you these 16 DLC packs as a thank you for spending $60. That's what they were saying.
Nintendo started getting into the whole DLC thing, like Mario Kart 8.
Mario Kart 8 is getting DLC.
And
Smash Brothers is getting DLC.
You get Zelda.
we got Link.
You get Link. Yeah. Link and Zelda, right?
Yeah. Or whatever.
It's Link and Captain Falcon cars.
Oh, really? Okay.
And the Mercedes-Benz one.
That was the Benz was weird, but
But you
You
know,
want rights for that.
but just seeing Nintendo with DLC kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. Even the whole Phoenix Wright bit, it just made me go like, "Oh,
Why?
I have to spend more money." I'm
Well,
to
even
this day,
Smash Brothers
it's
has DLC now.
Nintendo.
yeah, but I'm still not a fan of DLC as a whole.
Yeah, as a whole, I'm not a fan either. I haven't at the top of my head, can't even say what was super like. Oh, that was an awesome DLC. That was worth it. Not at all. I can't. Among all the games from PS3, even to the PS4 one, or even my PC, I'm not. I can't.
Well, again, I think me and Miggy can agree that basically the good DLC where I like the fighting.
The fighting card, yeah. That would
But
make
even
sense.
then, well, like, if you don't have the character, then
Would you rather?
you don't
Okay,
have
here's a
knowledge
question:
for that.
would you rather have, instead of buying piecemeal Lobo and Zod and whoever,
in Injustice,
bought like a whole like a super Injustice like Super Street Fighter version of it with the extra characters?
I would do that.
No, I actually prefer that, like what they did with Ultimate.
Yeah.
Which I got. Yeah,
Yeah, I prefer that because, like, imagine in the long run when PSN dies or anything,
Yeah,
at least you can still have the characters because they're on a disc.
Yeah.
right.
Unlike, say, the Persona 4 Ultimax.
Because you
where
never know
the
what Anonymous would
characters
do.
were not
with the
on
Well,
Yeah.
that's primarily that's a good point. That's primarily why I double dipped on Mortal Kombat. I bought the complete edition because I wanted the characters on disc,
Yeah.
and I have the Injustice
Ultimate
because it has the characters on it. But what I mean to say is like so. You'd rather buy a fully new edition of the game that included a set of new characters than having them available. Well, kind of a hybrid system, I guess, right?
Well,
You
I've
buy
only-
them either as DLC or buy the new game, buy the new package of the game with the new characters.
but at hopefully a cheaper price.
Yeah,
I've only actually done that for Injustice so far. Like, I bought the characters for that, and for the other fighting games, I got Super AE agad with Street Fighter 4 and Ultimate Marvel.
that's kind of why I'm waiting for Killer Instinct the season 2 disc to come out.
I'm waiting for it to come out on PC.
It will come out eventually.
If and when it comes out, then Xbox One is not worth it.
I am waiting for Killer
Oh.
Instinct and Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset
go on
Overdrive.
PC?
I still say Sunset Overdrive has a bigger chance of coming out on PC.
Yeah.
But if KI makes it, then the
Come
doors
on,
are all
Microsoft!
opened.
There's
No.
nothing for Microsoft.
No, they'll bounce back with the
No,
Halo.
no.
And I'm sure.
Scalebound.
Scalebound will be PC only. I mean, PC. PC.
Oh, yeah, Revengeance came out on PC.
Eventually.
Yeah.
There's a
I'm
chance.
pretty sure Deadly Premonition is probably going to come out on PC.
It wasn't PC.
But
Oh, there.
No.
So D4 might come out on PC.
Oh, hopefully.
Everything
No,
is
but
gonna
the D4 won't ever get a sequel because nobody bought the first episode.
Oh god. We're talking about Xbox One here because
Yeah.
they're Ryse, things that are exclusive.
Rise are
but
going
not-
dead rising. Shit.
but they're not exclusive. They're not exclusive at all. Anyway, yeah, DLC. I think.
DLC sucks.
What are your
For the
thoughts on
most part.
DLC? Is it cool? I don't think it's cool. Will thinks it's so not so.
It's okay if done properly. Like you got to be responsible with
Or
it.
at
you know?
least release a separate disc with all of it in it
which we're seeing a lot of now.
for preservation's sake.
Preservation.
Well, then
Fucking Asuras Wrath.
just be fucking. Don't be a dick and sell the ending as. There's a picture going around online. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's like a picture of the Mona Lisa, and then
Her face is the
and basically, yeah, it's just like
chunks of it are gone.
1990s. It'd be like Mona Lisa, right? The whole thing. The 2000s, it's like Mona Lisa, and then the piece is gone.
Eat your burgers,
It's,
swallow.
exactly. So see, don't be.
Jesus.
There you, I would be totally fine if we got back to the days of expansion packs.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember like when the first StarCraft came out, and then
Brood Wars.
Brood Wars came out, and then Brood Wars was like
The
such
version,
a worth
yeah.
it, like so worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, that I'd be okay with.
Or even like Command and Conquer. But Red Alert was initially parang an expansion
Yeah.
And then that
all of
spun
that
off onto its
into
fact-
Red Alert 2 and
Yeah,
all that.
exactly. And then you had
All the Sims games.
well, no, see, the Sims expansions are kind of.
They got. It's
But
a
again,
different
people
level.
buy them, and the Sims have their own weird like little subculture.
The reason why we have day one DLCs, season pass DLCs, pre-orders
This is
DLCs
EA.
is because of EA
I think
and
EA was the first one who
Activision
did
and
season pass.
Ubisoft seeing that people are actually buying it. So
They're like, what can these idiots buy?
yeah, because they're not doing this out of whim. Well,
They're doing
one,
it to make
either
money.
whim and to make money because they see people buying it, they'll do it.
Yeah.
It's like what that guy from Pirates of the Caribbean said. It's just good business. Then his ship blew up.
Well, there you go, DLCs.
DLC.
Your ship blows up.
Your ship blows up. everything just explodes. Everything just becomes worthless.
Or like even harkening back to the old PC game days when you had Baldur's Gate and the expansion of
Dark Alliance.
If you want.
Icewind Dale and the Heart of Winter.
Yeah.
That was good.
Well, that's it. That's it for episode 57.
Yeah, that's it, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for listening. We're gonna have a lot to show next week
Next
with
week.
UCGS.
Yep. Next week will be all event coverage podcast. We will. We're planning for day one podcast of the ESGS. Then
You'll
day
be able to
two
get that up fast.
of
or
ES. I will
along
have.
with-
I will
try,
have to.
yeah.
I will have to.
We're gonna heckle cosplayers and
Like maybe like after like the day one cast, I think before I head out for day two, I'll just do the uploads and shit, and then head up to.
We're
you
gonna
guys.
touch developers in awkward spots.
Yeah,
we're gonna
They'll kick us out.
we're gonna suck up so hard.
We're gonna look for Reggie Fils-Aimé.
We're gonna look for Reggie's in the hiding in the corner. But yeah, it's a full-on coverage in the ESGS. We're gonna have a podcast for day one, podcast for day two, and an overall coverage,
The videos.
which will come out as a regular episode, but just mainly talking about the event. That which will probably come out also next week on Tuesday. But day one and day two of ESGS
Be
will
like
come out.
a special.
It's a special episode. It'll come out the day after we're done with the day.
We'll try.
Well, I'll try. I have to do it.
Because you have to sleep.
I'm gonna set up all the templates and just all I have to do is just upload it. That's all I'm gonna do. But yeah, it's a full coverage. It's gonna be a hectic week for us.
but it'll be fun.
It's gonna be fun. Local developers, games made here in the Philippines.
Games made here, games made around. Well, we have some international ones.
Yeah, Dreadout will be
we
there.
got- yeah,
we don't know if it's true, but we saw the announcement. We'll see.
The Double Happiness guys will be there. We'll probably have some Korean.
There's supposed to be an
imports.
Oculus Rift thing
There's gonna be
there.
an Oculus Rift.
IGN is supposed to be there.
IGN.
We don't-
Doritos.
Doritos are in mini
that
stop
post
right
I
now.
showed, The Doritos flavored Mountain Dew.
This is disgusting. My God.
Anyway, that's the end of the episode, guys. Thanks for listening in. If you do want to check out our previous episodes, our horror month episode or theme, do check out our website, www.toomuchgaming.com. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. Check out our YouTube channel, TMG blog. Subscribe for all our videos, especially the ESGS video, because we're going to be interviewing all the local developers.
Everyone
We're gonna,
we can.
yeah, we're
security
going.
guard.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, we have to do
The
that.
coffee
The
person
coffee,
in
the hot dog
Starbucks
stand
that will get my
people.
coffee. I'm going to interview her, him. I don't know.
Ask Manong Guard, Kuya, sino main mo sa Street Fighter?
We're gonna have a full coverage of ESGS, and you'll see it in our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, we are also in iTunes for the podcast. So do subscribe, do comment, rate,
Review!
And review.
On iTunes.
do
It helps us
stars
go up
and
there.
shit. Yeah, do that. Greatly appreciate it. If you have any concerns, questions, or anything,
Do you like
can
us or hate us? Do you
if you
write
hate us, go ahead. Email us at
We'll read it
thetmgpodcast
out
at
loud
gmail.com.
with love.
With love, yes. And I think that's it. I think
Yep.
we are done.
We're done. See you guys.